Oh, but we see the video. See. Hey.
My audio wasn't either. Something happened with OBS and got all the sounds mixed up.
Yeah, that's
Nayari's
not
on
where
the
you
stairs.
are. No, she's not.
I don't know why I'm there.
Well, bear with us, everyone, as we've got a few difficulties as we're getting
There we
started.
go.
We are super excited for the next
Whoa.
installment of. I can hear the
Visions of Phaendar?
Well, I can hear the delay behind me, and it was really throwing me off. Because then I started listening to see how long it's lagged behind.
Well, we're good
Nice.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah,
We're 100% up.
We're cooking now, boys.
We are cooking. It's good to be back. Thank God it's Tuesday.
I know.
Yeah,
Best
I
day of
know.
the week.
Andrew shaved. We all said something too. Can you believe it? Still handsome though, but.
now. Oh, thanks. You're too kind. You know, just had to match the Mr. Bean halfling look.
Oh, I see. I too have thought about maybe dressing a character.
That picture. Yep, that's Ulret right there.
Ulret the Bard.
Not the most conventionally handsome character, but he thinks he's quite the stunner.
I would not disagree. You know, I think so.
Thanks, Sam.
So, anybody want to go over the recap and explain the situation as we find ourselves?
Sure.
Justin's gonna take it away.
Yeah. So, we basically find ourselves back at the camp. Well, this would technically be our first time as a group to the camp.
Yes.
I think since the retcon that we did there. So this is the first time at the camp. Yeah, right. Retcon never happened.
I'm kidding.
As a group.
It's still on
and,
YouTube, though.
We're trying to finish off the last of the hobgoblins from this camp, having killed Scarvinius, and we're looking out for Scabvinius, his brother, clearly, which is canon now. Yeah, so
I mean, I'll add another 7th level character to this fight if you want me to make a scab video.
7th level?
Was that?
Oh no, he wasn't.
was like,
he was
was that
CR7, not
Oh.
level 7. Sorry,
I was like,
he was
wow,
level 5.
I feel accomplished that we killed him if he was level 7.
Yeah, to say the
yeah.
least.
So we had some heated exchange. Don't want to miss out on that. By the way, we had some heated exchange the night before at our camp. After defeating Scarvinius, and then basically Theros decided that he was going to leave to go find his grandfather, I believe, and possibly a way to rejoin Volus's spirit. Then Iden, Nyari, and Orin made our way to this camp. We scouted out the camp. Ulret managed to catch up with us right before we decided to attack, and then battle ensued. We fought the good fight, killing most of them already, including a were-rat, which was
Speaking of, this guy's still alive down here in the bottom left. I thought he had just gotten taken out and we had this one left.
Nope.
Nope. I think he has full health. Yeah.
Thanks.
Do you know who doesn't have full health?
Nyari!
Yeah!
Big girl.
Pretty much all of us.
United. No, Orin.
Orin does. Always.
Well, I'm fine. I mean,
Orin is
I'm in
actually acceptable, so I wouldn't worry about it.
Let's see. So yeah, that pretty much recaps it. We've got one big bad alchemist up here in the top who's been lobbing bombs, and then we have one normal hobby down here at the bottom. So that brings us up to speed. And Andrew's having some green beans, it looks like. Yep.
Eat.
All right.
Eat healthy. That's good.
Also, Pride07, thank you for the follow.
Oh, awesome. Thanks for the follow.
All right, GM, you want to take us away?
Yes,
Yeah.
Chief.
Oh, I forget where I'm at in initiative.
Is a
I'm
good
sure he's
recap
got
there.
it. I'm sure he's got it.
I've got the initiative order here. I was wise enough to finish us off at the bottom of a round, so we're at the top of the next round here.
Oh,
If it matters, we're at the top of round 8. I don't know if you guys had anything that was rounds by level, but
Yeah, my raging.
yeah,
But I have 8
This-
rounds ticked off, so I'm good there.
very
this
nice.
is the top of round 8.
I have shield
Uh,
for 2 more rounds.
Okay.
Yes.
Yep, there's only 2 enemies left standing at the moment. There's a scout to the southwest, and then this alchemist lady up here to the north side. If you had forgotten, the alchemist lady has some sort of effect on her that is making her hard to focus on. Be mindful of that. But
Okay, if you would be so kind, can you remind us of the initiative order too? Because it's been a week. I can't quite remember who goes when.
Iden had
you
used
sure
his
you want me to tell you? or
ability
just
to give us
wanna
a buff
find
too, right?
out?
I mean, we can find out. That's fine too. I mean, we're
It
at the
goes-
start of the round.
It goes 2 of you, both of them, and then another 2 of you.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair enough. Awesome.
And the first is Ulret.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say her, and I was bracing.
No.
Bracing for impact.
Hmm.
We're at the Bard.
Yep.
Just as a reminder too, Iden had given us all a buff. I forget what it was called, but that's
Hunter's Mark.
That's gone now.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
that-
just one
that-
round.
Only lasts for the one round that he did that.
Yep.
Oh, I was I at the end of that because I never did anything while having it active.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I think I
It
still
would
had a turn
technically
with it.
persist. It would technically persist until the beginning of his turn.
Right.
If he
That's-
had done it at the if he had done it on his turn of round 7, then it would still
would-
be
it
active
would-
until his turn.
Yeah, it would be on now.
Okay, yeah. Well, and it doesn't really matter because Ulret is going to notice the condition, I think, of Nyari, or rather, can I roll perception to see if he would notice that? I guess would probably be the more appropriate way.
Sure.
Or would
you
he
can
be
roll
able to
perception.
tell that she's hurting just by looking at her?
Iden's also pretty far down, aren't you?
I think, yeah, if you look at the colors, we're both in the red.
Okay, so with a 14, you can definitely see that all 3 of your companions are wounded to some degree. Iden and Nyari are definitely wounded significantly more than Orin is, who's pretty okay. You can't distinguish whether Iden or Nyari are worse off than the other. They're both pretty bad.
That would have been helpful information.
Hmm.
They're both bad. That's also probably just flatly true.
Just a general broad statement.
Right, they're both equally bad.
They're both
Sounds
just
about-
bad.
Yes, that sounds about right.
Just bad.
I can't get to Nyari in order to cast Cure Light Wounds on her, so I'm gonna have to heal Iden. I'll prioritize whoever his tiny halfling legs can make it to. Now there's 2
Gotta watch out
shorties
for
in
my
the, in
swinging
the group,
arms.
and he's going to use his Wand of Cure Light Wounds on Iden.
Thank you, sir. I love healing.
6 ain't too bad.
6. It's not the worst.
Hey, we're back to having
forever.
50 uses of a Cure Light Wounds wand.
Yay!
Technically puts me at the yellow.
Okay, so Ulret runs over and he administers some healing to Iden. That is his turn. You had stopped your performance and it was lingering, correct?
Yes.
Don't
I believe
remember if
so.
this is the second or how many rounds passed after that lingering performance.
I think
Didn't
this
he
is the first
started
one.
again at 1.2?
This would have been the first round. I just stopped.
Yeah. Yeah, because he
Okay.
stopped it twice.
Hmm.
In that case, after Ulret's turn, it is Iden.
Oh, very nice. I can't remember. I think the answer is no. You can't pull a potion out as part of a move, correct?
Correct. The verbiage is specific to weapons.
Right. It's pretty dumb in my opinion, but I will take it. I am going to go ahead and take this opportunity to heal up, drinking a potion of cure moderate. I think that's going to be good for me. And that's what, 2d8 plus 3?
Yes.
So hopefully that does well. Be patient with the clackies.
Clickety
The
clack,
clackies.
clickety clackety clack.
I like it. The clackies.
All right, for 11, not the best, but not the worst. Kind of straight average there. And he'll 5-foot step that way.
Okay. Next up, it is the scout's turn. Scout down here. He's gonna 5-foot step back. He's being chased by this giant.
With the gangly arms.
Yeah. Slender,
He's
slender woman. Yeah. With
he's
noodle
gonna
arms.
try to put her down before she gets to him. I don't know if he can, but we'll see. No, that is an 8.
Oh, that will not hit.
So he 5-foot steps back, makes his attack. That is his turn. Next up, it is the alchemist lady's turn.
Ooh.
She is going to 5-foot step this way and throw a bomb at Orin.
Oof.
Dee-ba-dee-ba-dee.
Good old
So-
touch AC.
Against your touch AC,
Of course.
that is a 13.
I think that might hit. Let me look. Hang on.
I
That
think
does
you have.
hit. Yep.
Yeah, I think you have the lowest touch AC of the group, actually.
Wait, why do I have a
Still.
-2 on my AC right now? That's weird.
I don't know.
That could be a falsehood. Maybe it is.
Yeah, there's a -2.
Let me check your.
Are you
character
over
sheet.
encumbered?
Not really a thing with doors.
Where are you seeing the -2? Oh, you have it under.
I have a -2. But that's also because I'm raging and big.
Large.
Large and in charge.
Okay.
I don't know why that is there.
Can you think of a reason? Is it just like accidentally put in somehow? Or...
I don't know. Just delete it.
Jason's like, I was hoping you wouldn't notice.
I mean, it still hits, but like I just
Yeah.
didn't know why it was there. Like,
I don't know. I just deleted it. So
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
But
Alright,
13
I mean, go
does
ahead.
still hit.
Yeah,
Okay.
go ahead.
So you take 15 points of cold damage as this bomb explodes at your feet and you feel these ice crystals start to crawl up your legs, scalding your skin. You can still use scalding when it's a freeze burn, right?
Sure.
What other word would you use there? Because
Mm,
it's so cold that it's like burning your skin.
Biting.
Freeze burn. Biting. Biting. Yeah.
Sure.
Like cold bites.
Or sting. A
Yeah,
stinging.
stings my flesh.
Nip
Regardless,
is not quite good enough.
regardless, it didn't feel very nice.
No.
And it is your turn in response.
Uh,
Come on, roll as good as you did last week.
If only. I'm going to
channel.
Yeah. I'm gonna prepare a spell and 5-foot step towards her.
Okay. You prepared a spell and step towards it?
Takes one standard action to cast the spell.
Is it a touch attack spell?
Yes.
You can deliver a touch attack as part of casting the spell.
Oh, you can?
So yeah, you could do a standard action to cast the spell, 5-foot step, and then your attack.
Oh.
So the spell actually gives you the attack as part of that standard action. So you can 5-foot step and then still make your free touch
Okay.
attack against her.
Okay, so inflict serious wounds.
Okay, so that is a melee touch attack. So it's your base attack bonus plus your strength against her touch AC.
Base attack plus strength, huh?
Yes.
2 strength. So slash roll 1d20 plus 5. 21?
Okay, 21 will hit.
Excellent. I think that's 3d6 plus. What is it? 3d6 plus
It's probably plus your
5?
level.
1 point per caster level. So yeah, 3d6 plus 5. Or 3d8 plus 5.
Yep.
Ooh. That'll be good. Hopefully. Let's roll 3d8 plus 5. Get out of
Turns out she's undead and it heals her.
here. I mean, I wouldn't be upset if that actually happened.
Go ahead and roll me a D100 because I think that is still subject to concealment. So you want to hit a 21 or higher to hit.
16
Anything-
points of damage for anyone who's listening so far.
Okay.
He has to roll above a 20, and he did.
Okay, so you get through the concealment. You do some solid damage. All right.
Not bad.
Could've
Next
been
up,
better. 2 2s. Ugh.
bottom of the round, is Nyari.
Take it away, Nairi.
Okay,
Do it.
I'm going to charge this guy.
Get him, noodle arms.
Yeah, you can charge him.
Can
If you
I
move it.
charge and get in melee, or I have to charge just to my reach point?
So you can hit anywhere within that your 15 feet. So
Mhm.
as long you have to charge 10 feet in order to actually be able to charge. So you can move
Yeah,
all the
could
way
I
up
do
to him and still attack.
Okay. I wish to do that. So let me put charge on my buffs. Charge. And I will swing with my axe. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. That's the first time I've rolled a natural 20 in such a long time.
And it confirms with a 31. That will be a confirmed critical. I am almost certain.
Indeed it is.
Oof.
For
so
Sarah
38 points of damage
Yeah! Finally, Nyari getting some big hits.
on a little peon minion.
Couldn't do
Yeah.
that for this
Another
one up
percent.
here. Couldn't be this one up here. No, it had to be this little minion that nobody was worried about.
Hey,
Okay.
he's dead. All right.
He is
Yeah.
at minus 31 hit points,
Ooh.
but he had a con of 32.
He'll die next round then, because I don't think he can roll. Well, he could roll a natural 20, but to stabilize on that would be quite difficult.
Okay. So that is Nyari's turn. She charges down and just smashes this guy completely to a pulp. Top of round 9, we are back to Ulret.
Yes. So, Ulret is dealing with
And-
sound issues.
Drew, I think you're. Oh. I was gonna say I couldn't hear you, but I could see your mouth
Yeah,
moving on
huge
camera.
lag on his
Yep,
voice
that was me trying to adjust the music. Like I said, my
Mm.
computer's having a hard time doing both.
there.
Aw.
Struggling. The boy's struggling.
Um,
It's like the most peaceful battle.
that's
music
what I was
we've
trying to
ever had.
change. Yeah. I was like, nope, don't like this. Actually, yeah, Sarah, it might help if you wanted to be the DJ from here on.
Okay.
That'll help the audio keep from cutting out.
Okay.
Ulret, seeing that there's still an enemy going up here, seeing that Nairi dispatched this one, realizes, she's not in any immediate danger. He smiles and looks over at Aiden. I'm back at Nairi. And he winks at Aiden and he says, she's not the only one who can get bigger, And he casts Alter Self on himself. To turn into...
We're gonna lose our clean tag. I'm telling you.
That was it. That's where we died. We're all done there. It's over.
Jason, if Orin was to jump from here, would it kill him?
It was with the wink. It was coupled with the wink beforehand.
Yeah.
It just made it.
Right?
I don't.
That's my favorite moment of the campaign so far.
My favorite moment is just Josh losing his mind over it. With that, the spell he casts turns him into just a normal human-sized person. He actually makes himself look just like Aiden.
I had mentally thought of Ida's response in character, and I couldn't deliver. just couldn't do it.
So I think it's funny because that spell requires a material component of a piece of the creature whose form you plan to assume.
Oh, he's totally stole one of Aiden. Every member of our party is like a hair from them at one point when he was meeting you all at the beginning. I had that thought already.
An absolute creep. An absolute creep.
I love it so much. It's so great.
Okay. So you cast that spell on yourself. You're now a medium-sized semi-Aiden.
And he runs over this direction towards the threat to help Orin.
Okay.
That,
it is now your turn.
Oh, just to let everybody else know, the Alter Self spell gives Ulret a +2 to Strength. Go ahead.
Josh, I think you are muted.
All right, so I've got this cool feat that I don't think is going to work in this situation. Quick stow, you'll have to check it out a session sometime, Jace, but I think it just lets me combine it as part of a move action, so I don't think a charge works, but I could be wrong on that. However, the situation demands for that to be the case, so if I have to, I will drop my bow, and I will charge full speed. Go ahead and grab that nice +2 to hit. That doesn't hurt one bit. And do we want a power attack? Yeah, we want a power attack. Go big or go home, right? That's the way it is. We're gonna try to kill this person. Favorite enemy goblin still. Inspired courage has not died yet. Heroicism is still going. I'm liking my odds. I don't know why I'm talking before the roll, because that always means you're gonna do poorly. But we're waiting on it. 28 to hit.
Roll me a D100.
Yep, for the concealment. We need this to be above a 20. 86!
Nice.
Okay, so that will hit your target for 27 points of damage.
Yes. 27 points of damage. 2d6 plus 18 at this level. Not too shabby.
Okay. That is Aiden's turn. It's now her turn. Yes, she's still up. What does she want to do?
Can I get a quick perception before my turn ends? How's she looking?
Sure.
30.
She's in the red.
All right, that's what I like to hear.
She could always surrender and try and negotiate with us.
Okay, so she is actually going to full withdraw.
Oh shoot. No.
over there. And that will be her turn.
Why do they always run away?
Always.
Orin, you are up.
Get those baby legs moving.
You can make it to her.
Yeah. I will charge.
Okay.
And what's the charge bonus?
Plus
It's a reduction
2
to
to hit.
AC.
-2.
That
to
might
AC.
have been what the -2 was. Maybe I charged like
Must have been.
a turn ago or something. So -2. That must be what it was. Okay. So yeah, we'll get. What do I have worked in? I think I have almost everything. Do we still have Inspire Courage?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I need to not keep snacks by my desk. Else all I do is eat them. They need to be far away, hidden in a cupboard, or better yet, at the store.
Then that's a +2, I think.
So a 20 to hit, potentially,
Okay. Roll a d100.
for concealment.
Okay.
35 is the roll.
So it goes through for how much damage was that? 13?
13 bludgeoning.
Oh, so close.
If she is 0.
She's not quite at 0, but she's close.
So much damage to this lady between me and the
She's taken a lot of damage.
Yeah!
Nyari, it is your turn. You are pretty close.
Yeah. Seeing this turn of events, them just getting further and further away, she is going to drop out of her rage,
Okay.
and I will be fatigued. And then
Wait, does she keep the noodle arms? Does she keep the noodle arms so like the noodle arms are the same length? If she's normal size?
well, no, I'm just dropping. Well, that's a good point.
Yeah,
Maybe
the
I
ra-
will.
The rage doesn't have anything to do with her enlarged person or long arm spells.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I will. I will standard action drop my enlarged though.
Okay, so she
Dismiss that.
dismisses.
Yeah.
Which square do you want to end up in?
Just surprise me.
Yes.
It's like, what's the most, or the furthest square away from everything else?
Now all I imagine is like the anime, like Naruto run or whatever, but she has noodle arms flapping behind her.
Just flapping behind her.
Yeah.
She's like the wild and wacky, wibbly
Running.
wobbly tube, inflatable tube man.
She's gonna pickpocket this guy while she's standing all the way over here. She just like reaches in and grabs and then reaches over here.
You do have a move action if you'd like to. She starts going into the camp to steal all the loot while you guys are fighting.
I'm okay with it.
She's like,
I
the stairs
guess
are wide open.
I guess I will move action just to get a little bit closer.
Go down there. Scabvinius is down there.
Oh no, that would be terrifying.
Okay. So you start moving over there. Once you get into this space, roll a perception check.
This will go well.
And I have to look up the DC.
16.
I really have to look up the DC.
It's DC 15.
It
definitely
is. Oh goodness, where is the DC on this?
It's 15.
It's 15. Trust me.
Trust me, bro.
Oh, I think it's just okay. So that is going to be a failure.
Oh no.
So
Is somebody bluffing
Nyari,
their death?
as you're running over in that direction,
The were-rat.
you step in front of where the stairs are there, and you're trying to move. You fail to hear a click beneath your foot as you step on something, and as you continue to move, you step up off of some sort of mechanism that explodes beneath you.
That's me screaming in the music just then.
Roll a reflex
me.
save.
Landmine technology exists in Pathfinder.
Don't guns exist?
Apparently.
And spaceships?
23.
23. Okay, so you will only take half damage from this. So from this mine, you take only 4 points of damage. I halved it already. So 4 points of fire damage as a mine explodes underneath your feet.
That was rude. I did not appreciate that.
Great.
If I was really rude, I'd have it throw you into the canyon and you'd take falling damage as well.
But I made it through the square. I didn't get stuck in that square.
Yep, you kept moving, so you made it. It's just it exploded right underneath you.
Great.
Given her trajectory, it's likely though she would have like flown towards Ulret, not over the embankment anyway. So
Yeah.
splitting hairs.
The end of her braid is on fire and she's patting it out.
Top of round 10, it is Ulret. I think at this point
Inspire
your
courage
lingering
would've-
performance has expired.
Yes.
So you could re-up it if you would like, or you could choose to not.
He's gonna see. He's gonna have noticed that explosion behind him. And
Yes, I don't think you need to roll perception to
Yeah.
notice the explosion that happened 30 feet away.
he's
You do
gonna
if you're Orin.
run back to Nyari and cast Cure Light Wounds on her. Not with the wand, but as a spell. So
Oh, he just wanted to touch her with his hand and not the wand.
That's a 1d8 plus 3, right?
Plus
Five.
Plus
5.
5. Oh yeah, because
If it's your spell.
Yes.
Does he say anything creepy when he does it?
No, he only creeps on Aiden, because Aiden's the one who's taken a liking to him. So, no, he's just gonna say, "Oh, allow me to help you, friend," and he'll cast. And well, it's unfortunately only 8 points of health, but it's something.
Well, it's better than the damage she took. She's got that like cartoon explosion. Her hair's like blown back and her face is all sooty.
Okay. Ulret rushes over and heals Nyari, which heals all of the burns that she had suffered from the explosion.
Is she taken aback by the fact that he looks like Aiden? Like, how does she respond
Yeah.
to that?
She
Does she think he's Aiden? Like,
That's true. I don't think she noticed that he cast the spell. She's like, this is a bit unusual for you, Aiden, but I appreciate it nonetheless.
oh, I'm not Aiden. But I suppose you don't recognize me without my rugged good looks. Although,
She
your friend's not
takes
a
them-
not a bad-looking man either.
She still has gangly arms. She like puts her gangly arms on him and just kind of like holds him back a little bit. Like looks over.
Okay. While this awkward exchange is occurring, the real Aiden is over here doing what, Josh?
I don't want her to get away.
You sure?
Is this area? Yeah. Is this area difficult terrain?
No, if it's on the map, I'm going to say it's so close to the edge of the forest that we're not going to go into like the regular difficulty.
Awesome. Well then, for the first time,
In forever.
I don't think there's anywhere that I'm not throwing into cover, so I'm just gonna try to get as close as I can. I'm going to use my quick stove feat, so he will sheath the greatsword and pull out a +1 dagger, which he will then throw, and it's going to take a few minuses that I don't know how to calculate because of the distance. So that is 10 feet is its range instrument, so that is 4 steps outside of it. 3 steps outside.
1, 2, 3, 4. So that's going to be a -8.
A -8.
Yes.
A -8 plus firing into melee. Do you take that for throwing?
If you don't have precise shot, yes.
Okay. So -8 and then partial cover, putting it at a 2 maybe? Or a 4?
Well, you would have soft cover.
Soft cover. Yes. Well, unfortunately, I think that's still going to be my best bet if I want to get a hit off. So I am going to. I have it switched here, and I should have a ranged attack grab 10 ready to go. We don't have Inspire Courage anymore.
Correct.
Oh, that makes it really hard. But it's okay. It's still not impossible. Natural 20s always hit. 25 minus the 8 is going to make it a 17 to hit.
17 will miss.
Carson,
Taking then, right? Come on. You hit Orin in the bum.
I don't think so. I don't. Oh,
That's how that
sorry.
works.
Just ignore that.
It didn't daggered me. It
I-
shot me and
that-
daggered me.
Yeah, but then I killed him.
It
Then I
was a
killed-
valiant effort.
It was a valiant effort.
It is now her turn. She is going to full withdraw again, and she's actually going to start moving down here and moving that way.
Can't charge at her now.
I'm gonna roll a check. Oh yeah. So she is perfectly fine on the acrobatics to jump down those 10 feet. Will slide down the 10 feet there of the edge of the ravine, and she starts running through that area. And you can see that she's like watching her steps, like very careful where she places her feet, but otherwise doesn't look like she's unhindered in any way. It is now Orin's turn.
Just go blow up all the landmines for us, Orin. And make it a lot easier
I'll
for
just
everybody
run
else.
straight through them.
I wasn't expecting one to be at the top of the stairs.
I mean, clearly it's possible to run through without triggering them. She just did.
It'll take a perception check, which he'll make you fail.
It'll make you fail.
I actually already had you roll perception checks, which you did fail. Way back when you were scouting the camp.
Interesting.
So I want to use my Wand of Hold Person, but I don't know how to use it to best effect. I have out weapons, obviously. So what do I need to do?
You could free action drop your hammer, move action pull out the wand, and standard action cast it.
And what's the range on it?
I think hold
100
person.
feet.
Yeah, the hold
So you-
person's got a decent range.
So you can do it. She just has to roll really low.
I'm gonna try for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mark off another charge of the wand.
Yes, sir.
Will is her her worst save. I'll roll it in the chat. Just why
That's
not?
not bad. Yeah, that's not bad.
Sure.
So I'm just gonna roll the flat d20. Oh,
Ooh.
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 What's her
Oh.
plus?
not enough.
What? Did hold
Yes.
person just work?
Yes!
Four
Clutch,
charges
Orin.
remaining.
Orin.
She is held.
For how long does hold person work? They get a save each round, right?
She gets to save it. Yeah, each
We'll have to
round
use
she gets
her-
to save.
Yeah, but she's got to use her full action to do that, doesn't she? Yeah, so she'll be stuck there for at least 2 rounds. Well,
Okay.
1 at the very least.
One. Yeah.
Yeah.
With that, it is Nyari's turn.
I was gonna say 2 rounds for you guys.
All right. I'm going to. Do you think that it's fair that I could see that she's now coming in the front, or is that too far away and at a bad angle? It's hard for me to tell on a flat
You
map.
could probably see her at this point. You're 50 feet up. She's pretty far away. You could see her.
That, and we could be shouting things out too.
I'd say you wouldn't necessarily know that she's held.
Right.
at
No,
this
I wasn't
distance,
expecting
but-
that.
You could
Right.
see
No.
her in the field over there.
The walls of this ravine are 50 feet.
Where you're
where you're standing at nearly the highest point, yeah, they're 50 feet, but they're somewhat slanted, so it's not like a straight down 50-foot drop. But it would, if you just barreled over, it would probably be a little bit dangerous.
No, I was gonna see if I could use my monkey arms to kind of like
Lower
swing
yourself
me down, but it's still gonna be too high.
Yeah.
So she will turn to Ulret and say, "Thank you much, Ulret. It seems that she's coming in from the other side. We probably should go down the stairs. Watch your step in case there are more of those landmines." And so, perceiving as I go, I wish to descend the stairs
Okay.
and descend again.
Yep. Roll your perception checks as you're walking down. You're looking for stuff.
21.
Okay. You get to here, and you see that there is the faintest disturbation. That's not a word.
Disturbance?
Yes. The faintest hint of the earth being dug up at the foot of the stairs.
Okay.
I don't know if I
Had
can
it worked in my head.
Yeah.
But it does
Disturbation.
appear that-
Isn't that a sin?
I'm confused.
Every day we move.
Isn't that what Mr. Kellogg made cornflakes for? To combat disturbation?
It does look like there is a patch of dirt at the foot of the stairs that has been dug up, and something has been placed there.
Okay. Can I, like, vault to, like, an adjacent square?
You make an acrobatics check.
Alright, what's the worst gonna happen? Just
Fall
fall on
prone.
the bomb. Big
That
deal.
too.
It's a 21 on the
Okay.
acrobatics.
You're able to kick off of the railing there without having anything, and you land.
5,
Okay,
10,
Tony
so
Hawk.
I have 15, 20, 25, 30. Do I need to roll additional perceptions?
I'll move that to the token layer for you.
I'll yell back, "There's a trap at the bottom of the stairs!" By trap, I don't mean trap, I mean don't step there!
Okay, that is Nyari's turn. She runs down the stairs and yells about a trap. Top of round 11, we have Ulret.
Ulret is going to begin his performance again.
Okay.
And call back out to Nyari. Noted, thank you. And he's going to, instead of going down the steps, can he attempt to make an acrobatics check to slide down the side of the ravine?
You can make an acrobatics check to reduce the amount of damage you would likely take. You won't be able to negate all of it, but you can convert like the first bit of it to non-lethal.
It's steep enough that he couldn't like slide down it.
Yeah, it's not so like it's steep enough that you're gonna take damage sliding down. Even like there will be a significant amount of speed. It's just
Right.
that you wouldn't take the full fall damage.
All right,
You
so
can
I'm going to go
convert
for
some
it.
of it to non-lethal. Yeah, I mean
All right.
it's cool. It looks cool.
Yeah!
So with that, you take
28
only
Acrobatics.
1 point of lethal fall damage and only 3 points of non-lethal.
Oh, how cool, man!
Wow.
That's not bad.
So -1 to my HP, and then how do I put -3 under the non-lethal tab?
You could probably do it that way. I usually just keep non-lethal in my head because it yeah.
Normally it won't matter.
Basically, once you get to 3 hit points, you'll be unconscious rather than 0 or -1.
Okay. Understood.
Okay. That is Ulret's turn.
Y'all
Next
can
up, we
put,
have.
I was gonna say y'all can put Inspire Courage back on your buffs. Go ahead.
Not yet. You're not close enough, I don't think.
They'd be able to hear
It's
him
close enough to me.
from here, right?
It has a range.
No, it doesn't.
One
30 feet?
second.
Yeah, I think it's 30 feet.
I don't think it's 30 feet.
Maybe it's 60.
Oh, no, I want to do bardic performance.
So, well, some of them are 30 feet.
Yeah.
This is Inspire Courage.
Yeah.
It just says an ally must be able to perceive the bard's performance.
Ah, so then it's fine.
Yeah, it's not one of the ones that has like a 30-foot.
He's
Right.
singing very loud.
So,
No, it's the loudest.
I mean,
At the top of his
presumably,
lungs.
you could be able to hear him easily from, even 300 feet.
next up, it is Aiden.
He system of a down now.
Did you just type for the lyrics of that?
Yeah, that's what they say.
No, there's words, Sarah. They say things.
They don't sound like words.
Those
Are
are
you
words.
really a punk? I don't know.
I didn't say I was a punk. Jason said he was a punk.
That's right. Cast your votes in now. Is Jason a punk?
Can we start a poll? Is Jason a punk?
Is Jason a punk?
Is Jason a punk?
What are you doing, Aiden?
Double moving. I didn't realize it was my turn.
Indeed it is.
Orin is in my way.
If you would like, you could charge Orin.
I think I'll bull rush him. Yeah. Just,
Yeah,
Okay, that works too.
sounds good. Yep.
He does get a +4 bonus on that
Tag it
because
up.
he's a dwarf.
+4. Yep.
It's okay. It doesn't make a difference. Done.
Just
Okay.
shoot her. Just shoot her.
He
I
dropped
don't
his
have
bow.
I dropped my bow. Else, obviously, yes. I would-
Kill her.
Tis her turn. I'll roll in the chat again, why not? Nah.
Aww.
Yeah, she'll pass that one.
Yep.
She is no
She'll
longer
pass
held.
out.
That is her turn. Full round action, I believe, to break out of hold person.
Mister.
It is now Orin's turn right after her.
We're gonna try again.
Okay.
So go ahead and give me another will save.
Mark off another charge of that. And that is a fail.
Oh,
Wow. I can't believe it.
Could she have 5-foot stepped at least?
Nope.
Yeah.
No. No.
No.
I feel
No.
like you can 5-foot step after a full round action.
No. I don't think so.
Doesn't check
Yeah.
out.
I
Yeah.
feel like she could.
Nope.
No. I think she's held, actually.
Pretty sure you're allowed to 5-foot
listen,
step.
I think I
I-
want the ability to do that if I ever come out of hold person, so I'm gonna say, go ahead, Jason.
Yeah, I will
I'll
argue
hold
the
that over.
opposite when that comes up. I don't need to remain consistent. I need to remain the victor. All right.
I don't think it'll matter, but we'll see.
It doesn't matter.
Nyari, it is now your turn. Orin, you could have moved if you wanted.
Yay.
I'm good. I'll
Okay.
yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
So can I see her, or are those barricadey thingies in the
Oh,
way?
from where you're currently standing, you cannot see her. These briars go up like 8 feet.
Okay, it
and
doesn't matter.
also the barricade.
Hmm.
You know she's over there, but
Okay.
you can't get a line of sight on her at the moment.
Hold up.
Can I?
Thank you, President Donald Trump, for the follow.
Oh,
I'm honored.
um,
The real Donald Trump.
Yes. Can I
Somehow I
still?
felt that.
So I'm going to. I'm probably gonna have to roll a thing. So you just tell me where on that trajectory I have to. Like, I'm rolling perception because now I'm wary of landmines and stuff.
Okay, roll perception.
Okay.
And there's nothing there.
It's a 12. That's a fail.
You don't see anything as you're walking by,
Okay.
but the moment you step in the gate,
Oh.
ah,
Ah.
you
Oh, no.
hear a click. Well, actually, no, you don't hear a click. So you don't know anything technically, because you don't hear the click under your foot when you step into that final square.
But the reflex
So-
save?
No, you don't. No, nothing happens yet.
Oh
didn't step
no.
off yet.
Yeah, you haven't stepped off of it yet.
So she doesn't know. Now you put her in
No,
a
it's the
terrible
worst.
But
position.
you don't know though.
Worst. I don't
So-
know.
So that is
Okay.
Nyari's turn. Top of round 12, we have Ulret.
Ulret's just going to be chasing after her because he's following her lead, so he's going to just do a full movement to there. And I guess he's going to witness what happens next round. He's going to continue his, actually, yeah, he's going to, I guess, stop his bardic performance in order to keep running. Oh, wait, no, he says a free
Alright.
action, so he'll keep his bardic performance going
Okay.
as part of his free action.
Weeb.
We are now back to Aiden.
Biden. So, I want to end. Hang on. I want to end 40 feet closer. I'm gonna be double moving for sure. The ideal scenario is to not take damage from such action.
Okay.
So I'm gonna attempt that maneuver.
Okay.
Rolling acrobatics.
Roll an
perception.
acrobatics. It's not a
Yeah,
not a high
but-
DC, but
Not here because it's less than 10, or it's about 10, I should say. But with an acrobatics of 2, I'm not exactly hopeful.
oh goodness.
Yeah, can I negate any of the damage?
No, you don't. You don't take. So this is only 10 feet. You don't take any damage from this point, but you do fall prone.
Oh, I fall prone.
Yeah, you go to slide down and you trip and you fall forward. It was only DC 10, but you rolled a 6.
Do I actually trip because I failed? Huh.
Yes, you fall prone on this square, the square that you fell down.
Ouch.
So I'll just move action, stand back up.
2 items have slid down and only 1 succeeded.
Also, roll me a D100.
Sure.
You've got to be
Phew.
kidding me.
That's where it blows up, doesn't it?
Let me check the book real quick.
It's never a good sign when the GM says that.
Yeah,
That's not good at all.
yeah. So, roll a perception check.
Absolutely.
Oh
That
dear.
is amazing.
Oh my gosh, you've got to be kidding me.
You hear, so you fall prone on the ground and you're kind of brushing yourself off. You step up, you stand up, and you're about to take a step forward and you hear a click under your foot
Okay.
as you amazingly rolled
How many of these things are there?
under a 10%. It's Aiden's turn. It is now her turn. She's gonna try to break free of hold person again. I'll keep rolling in chat. Why not? It's easier.
Yes! That's a 1!
The natural 1!
She is still held in place.
Nice.
Next up, it is Orin.
Well, frankly, I thought I was gonna have to use hold person again, so I'm not entirely sure what I'm gonna do.
It's the time for the short people to shine. Justin.
I wasn't prepared for this. How far away is she? She's like 60 feet from me at least.
65.
Ugh. Do I even have anything I can do?
I don't know. Let's just say not and skip your turn.
No. Bad light crossbow. Is that a one-handed weapon?
Crossbows are all, I believe, two-handed weapons, but you could still, well, move action to draw it. You'd have to load it.
Right.
You could get ready to fire,
Yeah. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna.
but
get
if it's a
ready.
two-handed weapon, you would have to put the wand away.
Sure.
Okay, so you drop the wand, move action, pull out the bow,
Yep.
load it. Okay.
And that's my turn. Wait. Do I want to move at all? Hang on.
You
don't-
can 5-foot step. That's about as much as you'd be able to do with that action.
Oh, that's right.
economy.
Because I had to use all that. We're good. We're good.
Okay.
No issue.
Bottom of the round is Nyari. You
Oh,
heard nothing.
Nice. Yep. So I'm going to continue moving.
Okay. Roll a
Oops,
reflex
oops,
save
hold
as
on.
soon as you move that out of that square.
All right, so 5 foot step, and then I bet I hear a click. 12.
12. That is going to fail.
Oh no.
You take
Oh no.
10 points of fire damage.
Straight up, Nair's gonna be Lieutenant Dan from Forrest Gump. Ulret's gonna be over like, Nair, you ain't got no legs.
So when that
I'll
happens,
just remove the one back here since you guys know it's there. It's not gonna be a problem.
so that happens, and she's blown forward, and immediately, like, never mind. I can stay in here for right now. 'Cause
Okay.
not looking so great.
So you're blown backwards.
Yep. Somehow moving forward, but I'm blown backwards.
So Nairi steps off of the mine, goes forward, it blows up behind her, she feels the heat and the shrapnel hit her back. Immediately, moonwalks back into the camp.
So,
Nayari, are you okay? Nayari, are you okay? Are you okay, Nayari?
So with that, with my move action, I'm going to pull out the Wand of Magic Missile, and can I fire that off in this turn, or do I have to wait till next turn?
It is a action to pull it out, and then it is an action to cast the spiel.
Okay, I didn't know if it would function like a weapon, because it's a weapon.
I don't think it does.
Well, you attack with it, so it's a weapon.
I don't think Josh is trying to say something, but he's muted. But so his opinion doesn't really matter.
I will say that in the past we have allowed Theros to draw a wand as part of a move. However, I think that's incorrect.
I think it's one of those things where like you kind of have to picture like would they have it like on a belt ready to go like a wizard?
I
pictured-
think absolutely yes.
For me,
100%.
I pictured Theros would just be holding the wand at all times because he uses a scimitar in one hand and has a free hand open. So he was kind of a secondary healer. I just had him holding it always.
So here's the actual ruling from Archives of Nethys. It says, drawing a weapon so that you can use it in combat or putting it away so that you have a free hand requires a move action. This action also applies to weapon-like objects carried in easy reach, such as wands. If your weapon or weapon-like object is stored in a pack or otherwise out of easy reach, treat this action as retrieving a stored item. So she had this in the haversack, so I will call it that her action is pulling up a wand.
Okay. Yeah, if it's in the haversack, then it would have to be an action. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then
Okay.
in theory, if it's strapped to the belt, you could pull it as a weapon-like object. That seems a little sus.
That's what it says. It's right from
Well-
the rules page of Archives of Nethys, so.
Regardless, you do haveth the wand in your hand.
I haveth it, and I shall fireth it with it next turn.
Swish and flick.
Swish and flick.
Top of round 12 or 13. Yes, 13 is Ulret. You just saw her get blown up a second time.
Ulret is going to move forward and use this wand of cure light wounds that he again already has out from before on her again, and say to her, "You're pretty good at discovering those mines."
The hard way, unfortunately.
1d8 plus 1, 9
Hey,
points of
there you
health
go.
to Nairi, and as a
Max?
free action, can he holler out something at the hobgoblin out here?
Sure.
He's gonna holler out an insult, hoping to provoke her from running away. He's going to yell out, "You know, I thought," in hobgoblin, by the way, to her, because he knows hobgoblin, or goblin, sorry. Is hobgoblin, goblin speak the same thing? Okay. He's gonna yell
Yeah,
out
it's
in goblin, "You know, I thought hobgoblins were ugly from the front, but you're even worse looking running away from behind."
Okay.
Ooh, sick burn.
Ooh, can he get a demoralized check? I think he does, right?
Nairi's
Yeah.
like, do you have
That-
some ice for that burn?
You yell out
No,
that
seriously, I'm on
insult,
fire.
and she does not turn to look at you, nor does she respond. Because
Nor does she have the
is-
ability.
She is compelled. So She makes no reaction whatsoever.
I knew she
She
was
is
held.
paralyzed, isn't she? Yeah.
That's what makes it so funny, though. I love it. It's a great Ulret interaction.
It's a great Ulret interaction.
Aiden, it is your turn.
I want a perception to notice some things, and I'll leave DM whatever you want. Mostly, I want to see if there is a path that Aiden can suss out that he could get through without ticking off any more bombs, ideally by charging. If not, I have an alternative. And then I would also kind of like to get an idea. You said red, and I kind of really want to know how red. So I'm going to go ahead and roll a perception. A perception. A 21. The first part is what he's looking for first. Her health
So
is so
you
much.
know that you've already stepped on one.
Right.
With a 21, you can't find a path because again, this is knee-high grass. You can't even really see the ground where they would have been buried, so you can't see a specific route that you can take. You would surmise that she knows precisely where they are all located, so she doesn't really have to worry about it too much. But without that knowledge, you're not sure.
I am going to then go ahead and pull out an alchemist fire and throw that. Which I think will be not so bad. It is outside, it's -8 again, but I'm not firing into combat, and it will resolve against touch. However, I'll still get my ranged bonuses, so it'll be at a plus 15 to hit, because it'll be 2 less, because I won't have my +2 archery and bow bonuses. So what I roll plus a 15. If I
Yeah, it would be your base attack bonus,
Yep,
5, plus your dex of 2,
3.
3, plus your favorite enemy, which brings you to 12. Inspire courage is 14.
And heroicism.
Heroism doesn't stack with inspire courage, does it? Because they're both
does.
morale bonuses.
Nope. Inspire courage is a competence bonus.
I don't know why I thought it was a morale bonus.
I don't know, but
You would think, because you're inspiring courage. But...
You really would think that.
you would think that, but it is competence. And that actually does make it higher then, because it's 16 to hit.
An affected ally receives a +1 morale bonus on saving throws.
So effectively,
That's
we
what
can
it was.
Well, that's confusing.
add a 8 to this. Is what I'm saying. So I have +16, -8 for the range penalty. +8 is the net. I'm gonna roll a flat D20 if you're okay with it.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was curious what you're saying, add 8, and I was like, you're adding 8 on top of everything? No.
Yeah. No.
But if you're just doing a normal D20 and then adding 8, that is fine.
Okay. Natural 1.
Okay.
That'll do it.
That's not going to hit at all.
So do I get to roll my D8?
Yeah, roll a D8.
Technically.
We will have this corner be 1, and then we'll go clockwise. It honestly doesn't matter.
It doesn't. Right.
Okay, so it hits there, and she takes
2 ones.
1 point of fire damage.
Wow.
Nice.
Is it a D8? I think it might
She
be a
goes down.
D6. I'm
She's
sorry.
dead.
It's a D6. Not that it matters since I rolled a 1, but would you like me to re-roll the die?
No, the D8 was to see what square it lands in.
I knew that, obviously, because it's just
Yeah.
1 splash damage.
Yeah.
Obviously.
I knew that, obviously.
Obviously.
Hated damage.
I
That
have
was
to make sure you knew what was
that wasn't going to happen.
Obviously.
Um,
I just wanted to make sure we were on the same page.
So
I
you
want- like-
pull an
like
alchemist
Justin said.
fire and
I
you
wanted to make-
throw it, missing horrendously.
Well, he's trying. The way I envision it is he knows he's got his foot on some kind of contraption that could blow if he's not careful. So he's being careful about how he's throwing it, not to move too much and spring the trap. And
Yep.
that was the cause for his miss.
Okay. It's now her turn. Roll another save.
Fail.
Yeah, boy. Wait, what's her ad?
What's the DC? Is it DC 15?
Probably is.
I thought it was 14.
It's a level 2 spell.
Let me look
Oh.
at what her thing is here.
That gives us some hope.
It is a. I think it's a 16.
That sounds correct. If it's a level 2 spell.
Yeah, it's a level 2 spell for me. On my sheet, it says my DC for level 2 spells is 16.
Does it use your DC?
So it uses the standard magic item power. So it is 10 plus the spell level, which would make it 12, plus the ability modifier of the minimum ability score needed to cast that spell, which would only make it a DC 13, because you only need a score of 12 to cast that spell.
Darn.
Yes.
So she passes and does her 5-foot step, because that's totally going to make a difference.
My
It is Orin's turn.
Oh boy.
You have your crossbow.
I do, and it's loaded and ready to go. Do you get any bonuses for being closer to someone?
Well, yes and no. A light crossbow, I think, has a 80 feet, so no, you don't get any bonus getting closer. As long as you're within 80 feet, you're fine.
Okay. So it'll be this plus 1?
Okay.
Yeah, plus 1, because I don't get the Torog's obedience.
Correct.
Well, wait, let me take that off to make sure that it doesn't affect. Because we had talked about that. Remember that it could affect it, and it did affect it. It had a plus 1 for Torog's obedience.
Yes.
On the
Yep.
crossbow, so I took it off.
Only on hammers, on the warhammer.
Yep, so it'll be plus 1 to this.
Okay.
I can't see what I rolled.
16 is going to miss.
Sorry.
Even a 17 won't do it.
A 17 is going to miss.
Yerg. Okay.
Okay. Nyari, it is your turn.
Well, I'm just gonna move up a little bit, and then I will use a charge of the wand of magic missile.
Okay.
So I'm gonna tick off that before I forget, and that will be a whopping 1d4 plus 1. 5.
Okay.
All right.
Not
5
bad.
force damage.
Describe your kill.
Yeah!
All right.
Your kill.
She had 2
I think I should get a hero
Yes.
point for that. Hero point for using magic.
I've been chasing this woman for over an hour, keeping her within range.
I
and,
got blown up
and
twice.
Nyari just goes, beep.
I'm sure it's a lot more involved than just boop. Okay.
Nope, it's very much.
Yeah, go ahead and describe your boob.
So she wasn't held anymore, right? She had
Correct.
unheld.
You're just unheld.
Yes, she had just broken free of the hold person and has started to move away.
Okay.
She had 3 hit points when she got hit by the alchemist fire, so she had 2 hit points when you just hit her now.
Okay. I have no idea what magic missile is like, but I'll just say that she fires off this wand and it just shoots through one shoulder of this hobgoblin, and like it's so much force that she like spins around a few times and then falls to the ground. And then she's right next to a bomb and it blows up and it blows her body into little bits everywhere, but it magically keeps her equipment and any valuable items intact.
Yeah!
That is
Now that's a final kill!
really convenient.
What's
She
the
gives me narrative
answer?
control, so that's what happened, okay?
Okay, so she does indeed fall, almost exactly as described, with a couple tweaks.
That's how Ulret tells the story.
Yeah, that's how Ulret tells the story. Yeah, a little embellished.
You wouldn't
Yeah.
believe what happened, folks. It was incredible.
The giantess with noodle arms.
Aww.
And with that, the camp goes silent. We will drop out of initiative order. What are you all doing? Aiden is currently still on top of a mine.
I'm getting out of here. Oh, Aiden's on a mine?
Yeah.
Good luck with that, bud.
He
This is
wants
not the music I wanted.
to.
Sorry.
You're fine. You're not bothering me. He wants to, if at all possible, to take a perception or a survival or something to figure out if he can wiggle his way out of this. Because at the moment, with craft bow being the closest thing I have to disable device, I can't think of something.
You can roll a reflex save. Because you rolled high enough on your perception, you get a bonus to the save, but otherwise you don't have the ability
To disable it.
do anything other than just mitigate the damage.
He can't do anything to try to get.
You
kick
don't
it
have
away.
anything that you would need to have, you do not have. But
So
since
we-
you did perceive it after stepping on it, you get a bonus to the reflex save.
Well, he's gonna do that, then try to kick it away as he takes a step back and tries to avoid some of the damage here. Reflex. And Aiden dies. So 19.
With the +4 bonus that you would have gotten, you are only going to take half damage as you try to roll out of the way of. You take 4 points of damage. That is already halved.
Okay. And he spends the time to climb out.
Yep. Make a
I have a 7 in climb, so I can just. if
Okay.
you don't mind.
take 10. Yeah, you're fine. At the lower areas, you're fine.
Yep. Shoot. Wow. Well, all right, that was good. See you guys next week, or.
It feels like that, doesn't it?
Right?
Yeah. Problem solved, right? Adventure 1, book 1 complete. No, obviously. I don't think there's any significant role play that I want to accomplish, unless somebody feels otherwise. I think it's normally just covering our bases now, avoiding traps. If it's not said already, Jace, I'm taking these steps really slow. I don't know if Nayari or not pointed it out at the bottom, but I know there's a mine there, so we're going to not step on it. As we take time to investigate the inners of the camp and make sure everyone's okay and healthy.
Ah!
Oh.
Orin just teleported.
Ulret,
He was with me walking around.
Ulret will
Okay.
kind of stand between Nayari and Aiden at one point and put hands on either of their shoulders and be like, "See, I told you I would be helpful, and I can take care of myself."
I must say, Ulret, your aids did prove surprisingly beneficial. Thank you.
You're welcome, my friend, and there's more where that came from. This story is just beginning, and it's a story of heroes, not desperate survivors on the run. It's time to change the narrative, my friend.
Nayari sucks her arms back up.
And then make a slurping sound as her noodle arms come back.
Aiden's face kind of goes solemn for a moment. No longer desperate survivors. He knows where the camp is left, and he knows Theros, and his thoughts go there when Ulret says that, but he doesn't say anything.
That
You're
was so
singing-
good.
Oh, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
No, he seems embarrassed.
No.
I gotta hear it. No,
No,
you
it wasn't
gotta-
anything like that. Go ahead.
No. We gotta move. We gotta get past
No,
this.
no,
Come
no.
on.
Ulret, your singing was beautiful, and it almost was. It was almost hard for me to keep my anger going with you singing like that.
Oh, I appreciate the kind words. It was riveting watching you all fight. The way you majestically moved across the field of battle and slew your foes. Oh, I will get inspiration for many songs and stories after this day.
What is it that you said to that hobgoblin? I'm assuming that you spoke with her? I didn't understand what you were saying.
Oh, I merely gave her some words to remember us by.
He
Well-
told her she had a nice rump.
Aiden is chuckling as well as he's walking off to investigate some of these tents.
My goblin is a little rusty, so one might have been able to interpret it that way, my friend, but be it as it may, she's
Good.
gone now.
Okay.
Well,
Oh, and
now
I
that
picked
we're-
up my stuff, Jason, before coming down here.
Oh yeah, I picked up all my things. My dagger that I threw and the bow. I picked all that. back
Jason's
up.
like, "What's that? You forgot the wand of hold person? Shucks, guess you lost it.
Ooh, it's
Oh,
gone
what's that?
forever.
It's gone forever.
It actually fell down between the cracks. You don't know where it is.
Can't find
never-
it.
You never find it. Go ahead and roll. Go ahead and take 20 on perception. Still not enough. Wow. Shame, really.
Yeah. I'd like to investigate the tent. This
Hey.
Okay.
Get out of here.
Oh,
It's
I'm
my
sorry.
So,
I'm sorry.
Orin and Nyari are moving up to the northern tent. Aiden is moving to the southern tent.
I thought Jason was gonna say, and you hear a click.
I know, right? I thought so
You
too.
hear 7 clicks.
Oh
now.
no!
And this is a TPK just from the
Yeah.
bombs.
We're like,
This whole place.
no.
freaking
And Jason's like, nice.
So we will do Aiden here. Ulret, are you going with one group or the other, or you're going to the other
Ulret's
tent over there?
Investing
Oh,
the
he says,
visceral
look, it's made of
scenery.
skin. I should
Okay.
definitely check that out.
We will do Aiden first here. So Aiden, you're walking down. Looks like it was the animal pen. They called it the warg pen because that is where the wargs stayed. You see a sagging hut of patched canvas kind of leans precariously near this crude fence of wooden ropes and posts. There's a patch of bloody overturned earth within the animal pen that looks like it was some sort of like makeshift bed with furs and straw kind of piled on each other. You were one of the ones that was observing the camp, so you would have seen that one goblin kind of stayed there generally. He
Yeah.
slept with the wolf and the wargs. You're going inside of this tent, and
Cautiously, without saying.
yep, you see a myriad of different furs and hides kind of placed up on racks in this tent. Looking around, roll a praise.
On appraise.
Yeah, just a quick appraise.
You can't take 20 on appraises, right? No.
I think, I don't know.
If I can, it's 22. If not, it's a 15.
Okay. You're not 100% sure how much all of these hides are, but it's probably a fair amount. It's probably over 100 gold, maybe over 150. You don't know exactly. You could take more time back at camp to assess, but
If you want to
There
argue a circumstance bonus, when we started this campaign, he was trading furs and hides, so maybe he's got special knowledge of the market.
okay. With that knowledge, I'll give you a little bit of a bonus. So you get your estimate goes a little bit closer to being 250 gold pieces worth of hides that you could take from this tent.
Awesome.
There's a couple other cloaks in here, but it looks like they're mostly just mundane, kind of green ponchos that were taken from somewhere. Roll
We'll save.
a knowledge local.
I don't have it. I can take it untrained, or
Yeah.
I can do nature.
Just go for it untrained and hit a 10. I'm allowing this given your background.
I take 10. No, just kidding. Trying to think if there's anything else that I could add to it. No, I don't think so. So 14.
Okay. These ponchos are somewhat familiar to you.
Oh, I think I might know. Can I take a stab? Well, I don't
Sure.
know. I don't know 100%.
Take a guess.
They have to be, either Gristledown or some other organization. There's no way they're trying to start a Rangers outfits or anything like that. But there's got to be something in the area. Gristledown, I think, is a good guess.
So these kind of green poncho vests, they are
Or
familiar to you because one is often worn by Auburn.
Oh, so they are.
Oh.
Oh,
Ranger outfits.
so they are Rangers.
Potentially.
So they are the Rangers.
But that is the majority of what you see in that small tent. It's just a lot of hides and some of those.
And when you say
ponchos.
poncho, you mean like if you look up like the iconic Nirmathi garb for the Rangers, where they have that like thing that kind of draws over the front of their outfits, kind of.
Yep, it's like a hooded
Yeah. Awesome. Well, he takes one, obviously. You know,
Okay.
hoping to grow into it, but
Yeah. It doesn't give any mechanical bonuses, but you can have
yes, it does.
a ranger's poncho.
Correct. That's a
They
mechanic.
probably kill people who wear their clothes when they're not actually rangers.
Well, I was thinking about that. There's no identifying marks on any of these clothing.
Not like it would be like to a specific individual.
Then I
No.
think just to himself, he kind of like, obviously there's no audience, but he's just kind of talking out loud, and he kind of promises the last wearer that he'll don the cloak with honor and do well with it. You know, he'll serve
Okay.
Nermothus and whoever's was the past wearer's stead, kind of thing. Be a little
Okay.
formal about it.
And as he's going through that procedure there, we'll jump over to Orin and Nyari. I'll reveal the tent there for you.
It's the
So-
toilet.
Not quite.
It's actually a giant outhouse.
So
It's a big hole in the ground.
You two would walk
You do
into
not want to go in after one of them.
walk into what appears to be some sort of alchemist. Raw yellow timbers that are fairly freshly cut, and they still kind of smell of pine. They are what prop up this sturdy oilcloth tent. There's a square window that has been cut in one wall with a puddle of thick, foul-smelling liquid marks in the ground beneath it. Fumes from this puddle have discolored the canvas above, turning the beige fabric a milky gray. And this is easily the largest of the tents in this area. It looks like it has bunks. It serves as some sort of alchemist lab. It looks like there's munitions in here. It looks like it was kind of an all-purpose tent for everything that they had. You see a couple, like, of those mines that have not been assembled, but the parts that probably were what went into making them there. A lot of different things in here. Some hammocks, crates, etc.
Detect any magic?
You do not detect any magic in this tent. No. But if you guys took your time to look around, you would eventually find 2 chests that appear to be locked.
Ooh, that's not good.
Clearly, I bash him open.
You can
We
if you
didn't-
want to. You don't know
we
what
didn't-
contents are in there, but
We didn't find any keys on Scarvinius or anyone. I guess we haven't looked around here. I bet you the keys
Oh.
are on her, so we gotta go through the
Probably on
minefield
her.
of death.
I'll do it.
maybe.
Well,
If I was DM,
are you
that's where I
sure,
would put
Orin?
it.
Just keep looking very carefully, and I'll follow behind you.
Okay. So, how do you mark a path you want to try?
So if you go to move, if you pick up your token and start moving it around, you can hit Q on any square and it'll like put a waypoint.
Okay.
So that is how you can do a specific movement.
That's. Oh, it didn't do it. Hang on.
No, I saw it.
Oh, you saw it? So that was what I wanted.
Yep.
So, here. Or wait. I don't remember what it was now. You saw it. Do you have it? Are you good? Do I need to
Yeah,
redo
I saw the original movement.
it? Okay.
Go ahead and roll me a bunch of D100s.
Yes, sir.
Just roll like 5 of them.
Everyone knows dwarves are very light-footed. Slash roll 1D100. Let me copy and paste that.
Yep,
You could do roll
Okay.
4D100.
you're good. Oh.
Oh my!
Okay.
Oh
boy.
my goodness!
okay. What
Okay.
happened?
So
I got
I'm
Okay,
just
so
going to
just
read.
real quick. Yeah, go ahead, Jason.
I'm going to read the text so that you guys know how this works now.
Okay.
Where is it? Up here. I have to scroll up a couple.
Real quick,
Okay.
just for audio, he rolled a 94, an 18, a 16, an 8, and a 27.
Oh, and I clearly cast Fire Belly before doing all of this, obviously.
I think he said. I heard him say that. I heard him say that.
Everyone heard me say that.
Yeah. Check the chat. Check the logs.
Check the logs. Go back to the audio logs.
Yeah, you'll hear it next week. Sarah will say, "Oh,
Replay
you
it.
know what? Orin was right. He did say Fire Belly."
So,
Yes.
I'll read the text here for you. So, this entire field has been littered with alchemical mines crafted by the alchemist EST. And the book basically says rather than marking specific locations, each square has a cumulative 10% chance of disturbing a mine to a maximum of 70% chance. If a character disturbs a mine, and it has been activated and whatnot, the chances are reset back to 10, and then they start climbing again. If characters observe these soldiers for at least one day, they can begin plotting a safe route through the field, reducing this to a cumulative 5% to a maximum of 35. If they observe for at least 2 days and succeed at a DC 22 perception check, it becomes a non-cumulative 5%. So, the other point to note here is these soldiers move the mines every few days, so any benefits provided by observations only. Unfortunately, they did move these earlier today. So, the first space you move in is fine. The second space you move into, roll a perception check.
Side note: thank you, Sarah, for the candle. My room now smells like leather.
I'm very happy that it smells like leather. Hopefully it's a pleasing scent.
It reminds me of when I am in the workshop downstairs.
So that was the studded leather candle?
Yeah.
Nice.
It does actually smell exactly like when we tanned leather, or when we made the studded leather stuff. Sherman and I, it smells exactly like that. So.
Nice.
I'm gonna light my
Nice.
candle
Okay.
named Bard's Blessing.
Oh,
Ooh.
yeah. That one, I don't remember what that one smelled like.
For context, back in Christmas, Sarah sent all of us a little gift box that included a bunch of goodies. Some of it were candles.
White tea and citrus.
Oh, nice.
So, Orin, you're walking by and you do not hear the click under your foot, or if you did, you probably just assumed it was your armor clinking like it usually does. You take 7 points of fire damage.
Do I
as
take
a
any
mine
because I was
explodes.
right behind him?
If you were right behind him, you take, I think it's just 1d6 to adjacent, yes. So you take 4 points of fire damage if you're right next to him.
Oh, my fatigue's over, so give it
Reduced to 2 though,
Four.
because you cast Fire Belly, right?
up.
So it would then reset. So if you were to continue moving forward, the third space is now 10%. You rolled a 16, so you're fine. The fourth space would be an 8. Another one would go off.
Okay.
So roll another perception check.
Yes.
Y'all better not die.
Okay, so you don't hear this one
Oh,
either.
jeez. You're gonna kill me, Orin.
You take-
So I'm right behind you.
Or it's just
So-
after the first one, he's still trucking along like, yeah, you know what? I think we're good.
This
We'll be
is
fine.
And
This is
Orin takes another 6 fire, and Nyari takes another 3. But again,
Ooh.
the chances reset. So the fifth and final one would be a 10%. You rolled 27, so you're good. You make it to the body there. And you have now basically thoroughly exploded a path between her and the camp.
Minesweeper, anyone?
Yeah, I was gonna say we're legit played Minesweeper right
So
there.
if I broke off from him and went into this square and this square, do I have to roll anything?
Yes.
Oh, jeez. Is that a D100?
Yeah, it would be a D100 for each square. So it would only be 10. Whoa, what the
A
heck?
91 and a
okay,
30.
okay. Yeah. Okay, yeah. You're good. Yeah, it would be 10%, then 20%.
cheating. I like it, but that's cheating, Sarah.
How? It's rolling 2 die.
When you're supposed to roll 1, yeah.
No, I
Oh,
was
look at
supposed
that.
to roll 2.
I seem to keep me rolling above 20.
So what I'm gonna do though is smash in the face of whatever this person's name is. The hobgoblin, not Nyari.
Okay. She, I think,
Yes, tea.
Yes.
Thoroughly
T.
dead.
yes,
Yes.
she is dead now.
So I'm gonna give me and Nyari another channel.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
So you both gain another 9.
Thanks, Oren, but I really would have preferred if we didn't need this in the first place.
I'm not gonna say anything. Still not happy with you. You were a jerk only like one night ago.
I thought he was gonna say something like Lassie at the end, like shut up, Lassie. But no, he just showed silence.
Punches her in the face.
It punches her in the
Did I
face.
jump? Did I jump?
Actually,
Oh.
we never
I'll
talked
tell
about
you.
that out of game. Niari was a jerk last session, though.
And honestly, re-listening to the episode was not fun for me. Just putting it out there. Didn't appreciate that, and I skipped most of them because it made me real sweaty.
Really?
It made me really sweaty. I was getting sweaty behind the kneecap. Couldn't handle it.
Sarah's over here like,
I had to skip 4.
Was it because of like you were embarrassed for Niari, or it was just hard to watch?
I just don't like confrontation. I don't
You-
like listening to confrontation. I don't
But
like
you
hearing
started
me.
it.
I know.
You
Doesn't-
drummed up all of the drama.
It doesn't make it easier.
Oh boy.
Gotta play the character, and Iari doesn't care about confrontation.
Okay, now we search the body, Jason.
Okay. So you have detect magic, so you can detect that she has a magical. She has 2 magical potions
Okay, so
that are
2
different from each other.
potions. Okay.
Her armor appears to be magical,
ooh,
and that is it as far as magic items go. You would find a key ring with some keys on her. You would find 52 gold pieces.
Okay, 1 second. 52. 1584. We are loaded with
Loaded.
cash. Key
Flushed.
ring. No. Okay.
And Nyari, are you aiding on his spellcraft?
Yeah, sorry, I was trying to fix the formatting on the sheet, but I will spellcraft. No, I'm not aiding. I'm rolling my
Okay.
own.
Glad you did.
Okay. So you are able to determine that. So are you doing the potions first, the armor?
The armor.
It is a +1 chain shirt.
Ooh.
Oh, wait a second. I am already wearing one. Okay, never mind.
And the potions you would be able to use with perception, and your perception is high enough that you could probably just take 10, I think, probably. So I'm just going to hand wave those. She had 1 potion of Cure Moderate and 1 potion of Resist Fire. Resist Energy Fire.
Why did she have resist fire if she did cold bombs, or did
Her
she get
bombs
to
can do
choose?
fire or cold. She did also
Oh,
have
okay.
a potion of Resist Cold, but she took that.
Yeah.
I see. Okay, fair enough.
Also, question: what's the total armor class bonus for a +1 chain shirt?
I believe it is a total of +5.
A +5, but it is light armor.
It is light armor. -2 armor check penalty, +4 dex, +3 dex, +3.
3, I bet. 3 or 4.
3 or 4, I would imagine. Can't
Yeah.
remember off the top of my head, but I think it's a +5 to AC.
I don't think the -1 AC is worth the extra 10 feet of movement, but I kind of wonder.
You would also be able to denote that she had a Masterwork Morning Star that she didn't actually
Okay.
use.
That's cool.
She also
I don't
had
think we need that so much.
she
No.
also had a bunch of extracts that she didn't get to use, like a shield and
Those are trash. They're not good for us.
Expeditious Retreat and other stuff.
She didn't
That's
drink her expeditious retreat.
She didn't have time. She was trying to get away, and as soon as she put enough space to start drinking stuff, she kept getting held.
Yeah.
I was gonna have her drink
was clutch.
shield and then expeditious retreat, but
That
Yeah.
must have been a good move by Oren.
Absolutely.
so that is all of the important info about her. You could at this point start walking your way back. You've cleared out a path, as far as I'm concerned, back to the tent. And if you use those key rings to open up those 2 chests, you would find
that they were rigged to explode.
Your face
Honestly.
explode!
You unlock them and they do not explode. You find in the first one several small of various liquids. Do either of you have craft alchemy?
Nope. Do not.
I might allow a knowledge nature.
I
guess.
can certainly try.
Maybe.
Or Arcana. I have.
I mean,
Arcana.
it depends on what they
Arcana.
are. If they're potions, then
No,
Aw, I should have
it's
taken
not.
the
It's not.
Arcana.
It's not Arcana.
But it should have been because it was a natural 20.
I would say with your knowledge nature, you can't specifically identify what these are, but you know they're poison.
Okay, so several. How
There
many
are-
vials? Just
So there's a bunch of different poisons in here, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 vials of poison and 5 vials of what you might assume to be antitoxin.
Goodness.
all right. I'm gonna
Antitoxin.
take the vials of antitoxin. You said 5 that we can assume.
Yeah, there's 5 that are distinctly different than the others, and you do not
Okay.
denote them as poisonous.
You know,
So you
I
would
do
assume.
have to ask, Jace, for everyone that's been using poison weapons so far, have you been properly rolling to determine if they've accidentally poisoned themselves on application?
Some of them
Well,
don't
here's
need
the
to.
funny thing is that everybody who's been using poison has had poison use.
That's too bad. That's too bad.
So I have not been rolling.
Yeah. That
And
So is that
the second
Oh.
chest, you find 300 gold pieces.
okay?
a paltry sum compared to the pain we just faced.
Right?
Moving
Well,
over,
we weren't doing it for gold.
moving over
right.
to Ulret. He is in the other tent there.
Yes.
I described this tent once from the outside, but here's the full description now that you're going inside. The skins of many humanoids, many with faces still twisted in agony, make up the walls of this gruesome domed tent. Rough stitches hold it together, and the interior is appointed in furs and solid dark furnishings. As you walk inside, you see that there are still some bodies of torture victims on tables here. But despite this clearly being a torture tent, it is meticulously clean. There is, you see in the corner, a bucket that as you get closer, it looks like it is some kind of caustic lime-based cleaning solution. And if you kind of like poke at it a little bit, it immediately starts burning at your skin. And you assume that that was probably used both as a means of torture and a means of cleaning this place, as I said, meticulously. You might also recall that Scarvinius's skin was blistered and raw, and you're thinking that would probably align itself with being rubbed by this caustic.
Well, Ulret wouldn't have seen Scarvinius, so he wouldn't necessarily know about him. But yeah, I get it.
Yeah, Ulret might not. If later on you were to have the other come in, they would make that connection, though.
That
Is there
the
anything
caustic-
of value in there? Roll a perception for that, I guess.
You don't really need to. I'm just assuming that you're taking 20 at this point.
Okay.
You can see that there's a rack of weapons in here that look to be pretty well made. You can find a collection of different. It says you can collect 6 long swords, 3 short swords, 2 scimitars, all of which are masterwork. However, you would notice that one of the long swords is particularly well made in that it is lighter and seems to be made of a different material than the others. And if you have detect magic, you would be able to. Do you have detect magic?
I do.
I assume you do.
Mhm.
You would be able to denote that that there is a long spear that is magical.
Spellcraft doesn't really tell me anything.
Yeah, you're not able to determine exactly what that long spear is, what its properties are. Roll an appraise on the long sword.
Not much
Okay.
better.
You're not exactly able to determine what it is about this longsword that seems so special either, but those are the 2 items in that rack check that seem to stand out from the others. You would also find in this room, in this tent, 3 locked chests.
I'm assuming the keys are probably on
And-
her. We didn't recover any keys
Yeah,
from
you're not sure.
Scarvinius, did we?
I don't
The group
remember.
that fought Scarvinius would have found keys on
Oh.
him. Yeah.
Oh, we did? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
What would it
I'm
take
gonna
for
gi-
me
there's
to attempt to pick them? Or I'd have to have the equipment, wouldn't I?
You'd have to have a lockpick set. Yeah.
I'm just curious.
Other things that you notice in here. So that's all of the items, treasure and whatnot you find in here. But you do see something. This might have caught your eye first. They don't write it before the treasure though, so I didn't read it first. Inside this tent remains one of Scarvinius's last victims, presumably, who is still strapped to a wooden crossbar. It looks like an elven individual. And as you approach, you get a little closer, you see that the body still bears telltale signs of torture, including dozens of shallow cuts and burns that were, again, probably wiped away by that caustic solution. It also looks like some of the skin has been flayed and the muscle itself been peeled back to reveal the bone on like the legs
Ew.
up to the thigh. And as you're looking, there are distinct carvings on the bone directly, as if like design work was being needled and carved into the bone. And you're not certain, but it's possible that that was done while they were alive.
Could I roll a knowledge to figure out what the symbols might mean or what their origin is?
Looking at them, you don't have to. They're nothing super significant. It's not like words or anything. It's just like general designs that don't really seem to have any particular significance.
Gotcha.
You can roll a general intelligence check if you'd like.
Sure.
Cards are pretty
Okay.
smart.
Roll
Ulret, though.
freaking 1. Ooh.
That
Okay.
checks out.
So you're not
check that out.
aware of what this particular procedure would be generally known as. There is a word for it. But yeah, it looks like this was a form of torture where he would start to flay the victim's skin and peel back their muscle and then start carving into their bone. This would probably have them pass out. I imagine several times.
I
But-
hope.
But he probably waited until they came to. But it's not good. But while you're looking over this area, you see presumably some of the belongings that might have belonged to this individual. You see a what you would probably, with your bardic knowledge, denote as a distinctly elven belt. This is an elf, makes sense. A green vest with a hood, like another poncho, that Aiden would be able to identify really easily at this point. You also see a small note on a stool next to this, and if you pick up the note and read it, it is written in common. You can see all that it says is, "All foxes to their holes."
The fox is that that Theros' mother's a part of what do they call the fox claws? Something like that. Maybe.
Something like that.
Just a thinking meta game knowledge here.
Maybe. Hard to tell.
No, not for Aiden, I don't think. They are... Well, we haven't met up yet.
So that is what each of you individually find at your location. If you were to meet up, somebody I imagine would have the keys to those chests that the keys that Scarvinius had. So I'll just tell you what are in those. In the first chest, you just find what is presumably the treasury or the payroll for this camp. You find 750 silver pieces, followed by 480 gold pieces. In the second chest is a small pouch that has an assortment of semi-precious gems. If you guys were all to appraise and maybe aid each other or whatnot, you would come to the conclusion that it's roughly 150 gold pieces of semi-precious gems. And in the third and final chest, you find what appear to be a myriad of personal items. There's an elegantly embroidered scarf that Ulret would be able to denote is a Varisian family heirloom, which is known as a Capenia. I think I'm pronouncing that right. You don't know who it belonged to.
Scarfinius.
You find a
Scarfinius.
no.
He really is quite the fashionista. Yeah.
You also find a set of silver charms on rings, each one in a different shape of a different leaf. Again, don't know who that belongs to. And then there's a myriad of other personal items in there. Everybody can make a wisdom check if they'd like.
And can we, if we're meeting up again, the others that have spellcraft, can we roll on the long spear?
Yeah.
So I got an 11 in my wisdom.
Okay. Okay. So with those spellcrafts, also give me an appraise, because the longsword is not. That one is separate.
Uh-oh. Yikes.
An appraise.
Yes.
Yeah, so my appraise is 6. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, you're not able to figure out what it is about the longsword, except for Aiden, who does. Aiden, you're looking at this longsword, and maybe you've seen something like this on sale in Phaendar during one of the festivals that you might have attended. This is a mithril longsword.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
So it is functionally just a masterwork longsword, but it is more expensive, and it is half the weight of a normal longsword. But
Okay.
otherwise, it would function as a masterwork longsword. And the long spear is just a +1 long spear.
Okay.
Did we find? You mentioned scimitars. You didn't mention falchions in there, did you?
No, there are no.
Iron's trench coat of weapons gets slightly larger.
I really want some falchions. That's what I'm looking for next. If we run across them, I call dibs on the falchion.
I'm telling you, it makes me think of like the movie The Matrix when like he opens up his trench coat and there's just weapons upon weapons inside of it, and that's basically what Iden's running around this forest with. A trench coat full of weapons.
It's beautiful.
So you have identified those. So with those wisdom checks, I think Orin rolled a 15. So Orin, you're not 100% sure, but looking at some of these items, you're like, the closest settlement to here is either Gristledown or Phaendar. These could be like heirlooms from people that might have been looted from either of those communities. Maybe items taken from the people of Phaendar. Could have been Gristledown too, but Phaendar is the biggest settlement nearby, and you do know that a Varisian family scarf. Very likely that it was taken from somebody, from some house in Phaendar.
Okay.
So you don't know if any of these, you don't know if any of these items would be important to any of the survivors.
Right, so that's what I was gonna say. Orin will look at everybody and just say like, we should probably bring these items back and see if anybody recognizes them among the people at the cave.
I do nods.
I feel like I wouldn't get a lot of objection on that.
Nope.
Aiden says,
I
"Absolutely."
refuse.
I don't know, Nyari. Anything to say?
Yeah, I
Is
don't
that
know.
wasting time? Do we need to storm Phaendar now?
No, she's going up here. See ya.
Ah, okay. She's like, I'm out. I'm done with you people.
Okay.
And then she's gonna
I
stand
think she might.
right here and use long arm again. And she can't.
I think we might say goodbye to Nyari this week. Who knows? I'm worried about it.
Well,
You should be very afraid.
you guys have checked all 3 of those tents there. Is there anything else here in the camp that you wanted to do?
We do a clean sweep, check around here, check the beds, check the tower, check the perimeter for any stragglers.
I think the only other thing that you really noticed. So if you search the area, it's going to take the better part of the day, given how big the camp is. But if you take that time, in the lodgings over here, you'd be able to dig up a couple different pouches of stuff that are underneath the bedrolls. You find 3 different pouches that each contain 25 gold pieces, so a total of 75 gold pieces over there. In addition, you find a small scrolled up piece of paper that you would detect as magical, and you can roll for spellcraft on. I'll have to look at the DC on that one. That's not how you spell any of those words. Holy crap.
Spellcraft.
Oh, I have that too.
This music is so calming. I love it.
Yeah, I'm rolling to aid, I would say.
It's
Are you all aiding?
I was rolling.
All aiding whoever
on my
has
own.
a high Ulret then. Sure.
I was just rolling my own, so
I was aiding whoever has the highest bonus to their spellcraft, because I only have a +2.
I have a +7, so probably mine.
Let's see, the DC is... Identify the properties of a magic item is 15 plus the caster's, or the item's caster level. So you don't know what this is.
Oh.
But it's a scroll paper.
It's some scrolled up piece of paper with
But with the
arcane
tech-
writing on it.
With detect
Could I
magic,
use knowledge
they would-
arcana on it?
I don't think knowledge arcana. Can check to see if knowledge arcana does anything. I don't think that's going to help at all, because this is specifically like you already know it's magical.
Gotcha. I didn't know if like the writing
no,
on
I
it.
should have just aided.
Knowledge arcana would be able to help you think of what kinds of things it could be.
Gotcha.
Well, won't detect magic give him a sense of its relative power? I mean, obviously the failed roll too. He might get a sense of how strong of a magic this might be.
With detect magic, an object, functioning spell, a magic item, you would denote that its caster level would be considered. It is in the category of strong.
So it's a strong magical aura that you sense emanating from this piece of paper.
Yes, and the school would be, I believe, transmutation.
And it was just chilling underneath a bedroll.
Yep.
Cool.
Yes, a strong
Interesting.
transmutation aura coming from this page.
We can
23
hopefully find
isn't
out
enough.
tomorrow whether-
Wow.
23 is not enough.
Yeah, high caster level.
You know,
I'll
if
have
it's
to
a
try
strong
again tomorrow.
aura, it is minimum 12th level caster level for the item.
Which is up there. Could be
Yeah.
a true resurrection spell. Who knows? That'd be awesome.
It's a
Not-
reincarnate.
It's not a that's not amazingly
Stop.
hilarious.
Would you imagine if it was a scroll of reincarnate?
That'd
Oh
be
my God.
amazing though, because he goes to his grandfather to try and reconnect with Volus's spirit, and his grandfather's like, "Listen, you idiot, he's not dead. We can't connect to his spirit. There's no spirit to connect to."
That would be amazing.
Oh man.
I think you guys have basically found everything. The only other thing that you might want to check is the were-rat, and the only thing that she had on her was a masterwork rapier.
Okay.
Which I
I
already
don't
have.
want a rapier, so. Like I said, falchion. That's my next weapon. Falchions are nice.
So yeah, I think you've found basically everything of import here.
I think if we kind of clear out the cave and get any information that we can, I don't know if it's the time of day where we need to stay here and kind of rest.
With how long it took you to search the camp that thoroughly, it would be getting close to nightfall.
Okay. Nairi's gonna pile the bodies up and light them on fire just to dispose of them.
Okay.
Real quick, Aiden's not going to go so far that it's dangerous, but he kind of wants to track footsteps that may have gone out this way to the west, or if any curl around on either edge of the camp, and if there's any trails that look like they went to Phaendar.
Okay.
With
Roll
information.
a survival.
Yep.
Ulret's gonna just be sitting down
Plus,
like. Go ahead.
no, my survival towards goblins would add to my track, I think, if I'm tracking goblins, assuming I am. So I'm going to go ahead and click that on, if you don't mind, for my survival. Because they are my favorite enemy. I know what they look like. Whew. Not so great though, with a 22, even with a +4, and then I add half my ranger level, so I am level 5 now. So I add 2 to that, so 24.
So, looking up the DC real quick, even if it's firm ground, that should be good.
It
'Cause
should
it's
be.
only been because it didn't rain in the last night, so it's not. Yeah. So you do notice a pair of goblin tracks, just like the normal small goblin tracks, heading off in presumably the direction of Phaendar. And you do remember that there weren't any tiny goblins here.
Yeah.
Nice. Nice.
Hell sigh.
Nice. Nice.
It looks
Oh,
like
well.
if you were to date them, they probably early this morning. Presumably, when people woke up this morning, Scarvinius hadn't returned. They probably immediately sent out the goblins
That's
and
not
then
good.
went to work on the camp. So,
Is there anything of note, Jason, in this tent with that like gibbledy goop?
by the window?
Yeah.
No, it looks like that was just an assortment of different poisons that must have been.
Oh, that was
Uh,
like their mixing station.
It must have been something
Yeah.
like that. You would assume,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Based on their lead to him, we still have a long way to Phaendar from this camp location. But who knows if they've made, outposts at Gristledown or former locations that we've scouted out. Does he have any sense that could he catch up to him in time, or does he think it's a lost cause?
You would think that it is probably a lost cause unless you really like if you stayed up through the night, you might be able to gain ground on them. Because it's probably going to take them a while to get back to Phaendar.
It's gonna take him a few days.
Yeah. So
if I
you
can
could try to
gain on
stay
them.
up and do that, but it would be difficult. Progressively difficult.
Right.
But it is not necessarily out of the question. It just comes down to die rolls.
I would say it's not even survival. I can track them, and that's not the issue. It's the attrition and the fortitude save to push through the night, and risk not becoming fatigued.
Yep.
They're a few days away, right?
What do you mean? You mean the goblins that would have left?
Yeah, they left this morning.
If they left this morning, then they probably have like a 10 to 12 hour lead on you
from where we are
at this point.
right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Give me a moment while I look at some spells.
Okay. Ulret and Orin are sitting down by the fire, which is still embers at this point, unless you guys stoked it and started it up again.
Ulret's working on composing like a song about their exploits that day. He's like singing like little lines to himself and then trying to think of a word that would rhyme with the next stanza, and then he keeps switching back between writing a song about the heroics and then switching back to a dirge about the people who died, the rangers, the skins of the people here, and the tragedies that must have befallen them.
And Nyari, what were you doing up here by the watchtower?
Burning the bodies.
Okay. Yep, you're able to get all the bodies there in a pile. Do you get Yisti, the alchemist's body, as well? Drag that all the way over there, or do you just put that in the field?
Yeah, might as well. Just have a bonfire of hobbies.
So you burn all those. I'll just delete the map there, but you make a bonfire of the bodies.
Yep. She's just leaning back against the tower, just watching the flames.
And yeah, I think at this point, I have revealed in the journal, I think everything for book 1 has been revealed. So,
Ooh, that's so exciting. Did we do it, guys? Did we finish book 1? Did we do it?
Guess so.
I'm happy to be here to say we did it. That's crazy.
okay. So what are you guys doing moving forward? Are you spending the night here and then
seriously debating trying to head them off and stop the ones that left this morning. But I mean, we can't stop them all from knowing that we're here. But that is the first time that they've heard that we're at the caves, you know? So I think that's still in Aiden's head that he wants to stop that if possible, if at all possible.
Okay, so I already just wrote that in, but the spell that you mentioned, I would probably rule it where, like, normally you'd take a -20 to move at twice your speed when tracking, but given that that one is, like, supposed to treat the ground as though it were, like,
Right.
better, I'd say you'd only take the -5 that you would if you were, like, moving more than half speed. So it would reduce the penalties for going at twice your speed significantly.
So I could probably spend the night here and maybe even catch them up if I prep that spell.
Maybe. Yeah. It depends on how fast they're moving. They probably would have spent the night somewhere rather than moved the night, because you would assume that they don't think anybody's, like, on their trail.
Right. So Aiden will explain that he thinks he's got a pretty good chance of heading them off. And kind of is just going to wait for feedback. If nobody says anything.
Part of that
You're gonna
cutout.
Try and go alone.
I think I can catch them. Actually, though, Jace, if I prepared 2 iterations of that spell and cast it twice, I could get the whole group, couldn't I? Because it's
It's one creature per level?
is it up to 1 creature per caster level,
Yes, and your caster level would be 2.
traveling with the target. So 2. So myself plus 2. So if I cast it twice, it would definitely.
Yeah, if you cast it twice, you could get everybody in the group.
Yeah. So he'll explain that he could get
But-
everyone.
You have to have a smooth stone. Do you have one of those?
Yeah, I do. I have a material. Remember, we actually had this. I
I don't know
bought
if you
one.
have a smooth
Oh.
stone.
No, we went over this. I bought a material
They're
component.
pretty rare.
No, they're not.
If it's another heroic exploit you're talking about, Aiden, you know I'm always up for that.
I think that we can do it. I have confidence. We'll just have to move quickly. What time of day is it now?
If you're spending the night and then waking up in the morning, it's however early you wanted to wake up in the.
Well, assuming we haven't yet.
If you have not spent the night, it's 8 o'clock at night.
Right. So maybe we go to bed early and wake up as early as possible in the morning. I think will be his plan. Set off as quickly as possible. We won't lose any time that way. We'll still get a night's rest, time to prep our spells, and I can cast that and give us a big speed boost. If everyone's comfortable with that, that's Aiden's proposed game plan. And it's kind of cleanup work just to catch a few goblins before they make it all the way.
Okay.
I like it.
Niari,
I'm going back to the caves.
he nods. Tell them what we accomplished, and that we will be back quickly. Make sure they are well.
I will. I have some business that I need to attend to there. But I hope the rest of you will be safe.
The gods protect us, Niari. We've made it this far.
I don't need the gods to protect me. I can protect myself.
He chuckles. That you can do. You're very strong, Niari. I know that.
Upon our return, I'll be sure to have a song written about you. If you'll allow me, I would love to share it with you.
Well, you better make sure that you all return then.
You have my word.
Chase, you and I are on the same. I am a filthy min-maxer. Easy enough. That's one less spell to prepare. That means I still get something else good.
Okay. So, Naira, are you spending the night and then leaving for the caves in the morning? Or are you?
Yeah, well,
Through
I'll
the night.
leave at the same,
Okay.
the same.
Yeah, I assume that we took like a very early night because
Yep.
the three of us want to get out as quickly as we can to
Okay.
catch up.
So you guys spend the night here. You can find your own lodgings at this location. None of the places here are like super nice. So you might be better served just like placing your own bedrolls randomly in the open. But you spend the night here. Nothing disturbs you. There were no more patrols that you know of to come back. So you take your shifts or whatever, but you wake up the next morning just fine. And let's see, if you went to bed at 8, it'd be like what, 6 in the morning you could get up and start moving. So
make sure
6
you
o'clock in the
heal.
morning.
Get your spells.
Yep, you'd all gain some hit points back.
I had one channel left. Do you want me to roll it?
Yeah, you can roll your last channel for the last night.
So
That's
it's
fine.
level plus con, so that would be 8.
There you go.
Here you go.
Nice.
Okay, so you all gain 14 from that night and from the channel, and then overnight you would heal some natural HP, which probably puts most of you close to full. So then in the morning, Nyari sets out towards the caves, while the other 3, Aiden casts a spell on the 3 of you. You start following these tracks after the goblin pair. So we will go with the Aiden group first. You guys are following these tracks, and thanks to your spell, you're moving at a very nice speed. Roll me a survival check still to see how well you do. And Ulret and Oren, you can either roll your own or aid Aiden.
Are you comfortable with me taking a 10, or do you want me to roll it for the situation?
If you want to take a 10,
What are
that's
we rolling
fine.
again?
Remember, you will still be taking the -5 penalty. But
Okay. Yeah. But they can roll to aid still?
yeah, they can roll to
Aid.
aid. It is survival check to try to aid
Okay.
Oren.
Okay.
So 1 aid.
So that is a 30.
Okay,
Minus
so
5, 25.
Taking 10, 25. Okay.
Because I'm tracking goblins,
Yep.
I get the plus
Yep.
4. And
So
my
that
higher
is-
for my level too. I forgot about that. So
Yep, and that is sufficient to stay on these tracks. It doesn't look like they were hiding their tracks or anything like that. And it doesn't also, you don't get the sense that they were moving terribly fast. They're just going like a normal speed.
yeah, Ranger things I can do 20. 20 is my bonus currently.
That's a good show.
So you are following these tracks, and I would say that you would get the sense by the end of the day, you're very close. If you were to go through the night a ways, you'd probably catch up to where they might have camped that night.
And then we'll take one more day to catch up.
Well, no, you would catch up to them in the night.
I'm comfortable with that.
Okay.
If everyone
So-
else is.
Yep.
Okay.
Sounds good.
So you, it starts getting a little dark out, and you're like, I think if we keep going, we can get there. So you maybe put out an iron torch so you can still see, and you keep going. But to your surprise, it only takes you maybe 30 minutes into the night for you to find these goblins. A lot faster than you thought.
Oh no. Something worse.
And what you find when you get there, you find 2 goblin bodies on the ground,
What?
both dead.
Big sigh of relief there, but then also immediate concern.
Can I hand check them, Jason? To
Go
see
ahead.
like, what killed them?
And
Yeah, go ahead.
how fresh the kills are. Aiden is immediately peering around, looking for anybody that might be close.
Okay. So you guys are examining these bodies. It looks like they were killed by some kind of clawed creature. It is a 5. So you know how like some creatures they do like the 4 claws and whatnot. This is 5 claw marks on the creature. And they were, yeah. So it's not like a 4-fingered claw. It's like 5 claws on this creature.
Like
A magical beast?
And a hand shape or a paw shape?
It is clawed like, I mean, it's not like a palm print. It's like a slash, like a gash out of the bodies, multiple gashes out of each of them. It looks like this was sort of recent, maybe an hour or 2 ago. Aiden, you can roll a knowledge.
Survival, a knowledge about the animal. I can add my magical beast bonus to a flat check.
Roll a knowledge arcana and add your magical beast bonus.
Okay, so that is going to be a +2 to whatever this roll is. To try to picture what it is. It's a real shame. I have this other cool spell that I didn't prepare that lets me see exactly what a creature or animal was based on its markings, but I missed it. Oh well. A 14.
This doesn't look like any magical beast that you're aware.
Okay, well, it's not an owlbear, so I don't really care then.
No, it's definitely not an owlbear. It doesn't look like this would have come from that black cat that you saw a long time ago. You don't even know if that thing's still in the area at this point, but it doesn't look like it was that. And no other magical beast that you're familiar with would have made these particular markings.
And if we take our time to circle the perimeter and make sure, we've only been following 2 goblin tracks. There's no other goblins to be on the lookout for.
Make a survival check.
Can I take 20 if I spend 2 minutes
if you take
on
20, it? You can take 20 if you want to take the time for that.
All right, I will take the time for that.
So with that, you would be looking around this site here. You would find a 3rd set of tracks. They look like humanoid footprints, but they only go off about 10 feet, and then they disappear.
Just disappear. And if he follows them cautiously and he looks where the tracks disappear, does it look like they jumped up, jumped away, just blipped out of existence? Like, do they keep walking? Do they come to a stop? You know what I mean?
It's just they're gone.
What are we looking for, Aiden? I thought we were tracking hobgoblins.
He nods. We were... And the hobgoblins look to have been dealt with. He kind of just looks into the forest towards nothing and shakes it away. You know, maybe his skills aren't as sharp as he thinks. I think that is all the goblins. Some may still have gotten through to Phaendar, but we did our best at this point. I will rejoin the Yari tomorrow.
Let us continue. Until we get back, though, you have to tell me about what happened to you all before we met up. I need to write these stories down so folks will remember what you've done.
Hey, Jason, was there any orders or anything on the goblins? Any notes? Or...
Doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like they were given like a written note, anything like that.
Okay.
Best you could tell is maybe they were told just to like make a report.
Okay.
Ulret, I don't know if you know this, but we actually have all of our past sessions recorded and available for listening on Spotify, iTunes, and anywhere else you find podcasts. So you can listen to them on your way home.
Aiden is struck by lightning by the metagame guide.
By Desna, what magic is this?
We would make...
You don't mess with the metagame god.
No, not the
Thou
metagame.
shalt not break the 4th wall.
It's pretty fun, I gotta say. obviously he regales him a somber tale. He let's see here. What does Aiden have to say? He speaks of the loss at Gristledown and the pains that were felt and the people of Phaendar continue to feel as loved ones are lost. And then he mentions how Volus was a symbol of hope in that, and it trails off from there.
Oh, it sounds like
But it paints everyone in a good light.
Sounds like this bear was a noble creature. Perhaps I shall add him to the songs that I write of you all. I've started my song about the camp. Would you like to hear some of it?
Orin, do you care for a song?
No.
I'll sing it
I think
anyway.
I think it will brighten our mood on the way home.
I think it'll attract trouble.
I have come to find, Orin, that trouble is all around. You don't have to do much to find it.
You certainly don't have to invite it.
Isn't
That
that
is
what
true.
heroes do? They attract trouble so others don't have to deal with it.
That is not quite right, Ulret. Heroes don't look for trouble. They don't run away. That's the difference.
I think it's all a matter of perspective. Wouldn't you call it seeking trouble if you put your life on the line to protect someone else? But it's by no means self-preservation at that point. But nonetheless, you do it because that's what heroes do. Hello, Fairnack. Thanks for joining the stream. Jason, where do you get the maps?
Most of the maps I just got from the interactive PDFs for Iron Fang. Some of them I had to find just by Googling them, but most of the maps here, they actually give you a separate PDF that I just kind of crop images from and then throw under Roll20.
There you go. Well, without further ado, I guess I'll sing what I have so far. It's going to be weird singing with music in the background.
This whole time,
I can stop it if you want.
Aiden is keeping looks all around them as they're walking through the forest, making sure that despite Ulret's caution, I'm sure, we're not attracting unnecessary attention.
So are you guys
Hey, Jay-
walking through the night, or is this the next morning?
I suspect it's some combination of the two. You know, we will have, kept pressing on for a while, maybe sung through a bit of the night, stopped a little bit later since we're not so pressed to wake up as early. Maybe took our time getting back.
Okay.
I envision it as dark in the Fangwood, whether that is the morning light or the early dawn.
Were the tracks bipedal?
Yes.
Okay.
It looks like you followed them like maybe 10 steps, and then the 11th step just isn't there.
Oh.
Right. And there's nothing, assuming we had walked a bit further, there was no end or anything
You walk
perceptible.
50 feet, 100
Yeah.
feet, 150 feet. Like, how far are you going? Like,
Not far.
you
The
go 200
duration
feet.
of an invisibility spell? No, just kidding.
That would be way more than 200 feet.
That would be very far.
And
No,
invisibility doesn't do anything with your footsteps.
Yeah, he doesn't mess with it too much. The only thing that was weird to me about it is that, like, if it was flying, you would think that you would see, like, in the ground where somebody went to lift off. You know what I mean?
No, you don't see anything like that.
Right.
Noted.
So that's why I don't think it's a flying thing.
So are we on our way back to the caves then at this point?
Yeah.
You guys are walking on your way back, and you'd camp at some point, and then
Cast
the next
the
morning
same
you keep
spell
going.
so we can
Yeah.
keep going real quick through it.
So you would get there, I would say, maybe afternoon on the day after Nyari gets there.
Yeah, so we
So
want to split
Nyari
it.
left in the morning, got back at the camp still in kind of like the early afternoon, early noon time. and then you guys would get there the next day in the afternoon time. So,
Yeah.
um,
I'll split over to Niari and have her do some things the night before if she
sure. But before we go to Nyari,
No boy.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
start. I'll got a bit of a scene that I'll start reading here.
wanted. Ooh.
So, tucked away in a corner of the southern Fangwood, known to the locals as the Chernasardo, hidden behind a thick veil of vines and tree roots, we see a small cave. A hand reaches forward and pulls the vines back, revealing a shadow of some figure outlined by the morning light. A piercing scream emits from a nearby shrieker mushroom until the figure steps inside the cave, lets the vines once more obscure the outside light. Down the tunnel, we hear numerous mumbling voices raise protest to the sudden noise.
Oh, again!
The figure covers his nose from when confronted by the lingering scent of this cave's previous residents, and he walks deeper into the cave, passing a pair of half-elven guards through 2 more open chambers. He greets a few of the residents with a solemn nod. He then enters a larger chamber filled with half a dozen sick men and women laid out on shift beds. To one side sits an older man, and the figure immediately starts moving in that direction, until he sees a woman sitting up and weakly conversing with this man. The figure stops, but the man turns, sees him, starts beckoning him over with a bright and ecstatic expression. Theros, Theros! You couldn't have come at a better time. Your mother, she finally woke up not too long ago. We see a grim Theros step forward, but stop a few feet away from this pair, not bothering to speak. Jin Varric looks at his son, then his wife, then back to his son and sighs, visibly nervous. Now, look, I know something happened between you two, but for my sake, at least try to talk it out. Whatever happened must be a misunderstanding. We shouldn't hold grudges between us, not when we just managed to survive and reunite. Isla Theros looks at her son for the first time in years. The light in her one good eye is dim, her wounds clearly still painful. She swallows before speaking. You've grown. I must have been gone longer than I thought. It's good to see you again, Devon. How have you been?
Theros shifts his stance uneasily. His eyes glance to the side. He hesitates, exhaling slightly. It is difficult to explain. He looks to his father. I cannot stay here. I must seek out my grandfather. Volus... I failed him. I lost him. But there may be a way to revive his spirit. And in the meantime, I must become stronger. Theros turns his head, finally meeting his mother's gaze. Is this why you left, Mother? To become stronger?
Jin's face falls from its nervous excitement to a mix of sorrow and confusion as Theros speaks, but Isla responds before Jin can say anything. Not exactly. I'm sure I felt that way once, but that was decades ago. Her eyes grow distant for a few moments. I did not leave to become stronger. I left to fulfill a promise that I made to a friend long ago to protect this land and its people. I have strength to spare, or at least I did. She laughs grimly to herself as she places her now deformed hand onto the bandaged side of her face. It was my duty to use that strength, and while I knew it would require sacrifice, I naively hoped I could regain anything I lost.
Theros lowers his head for a moment and nods. I believe I understand, at least in part, your reasoning. But what I do not understand is, why then did you take me away from my father?
Isla purses her lips. Looking back, I may have acted rashly. I could see your affinity with nature even in your early years. Your father had no experience in such matters, but your grandfather's experience was extensive. I had hoped he could train you. She studies Theros, and it looks like he did. I used the fact that Phaendar is regularly raided as justification for you being safer with your grandfather, but I think that was just an excuse. Somewhere in my heart, I think I wanted you to eventually join the fight to protect Neomarthus.
Your intentions may have been noble, but in your zeal you simply traded one danger for another. I fail to see how staying with my father is any less safe than being left in the care of a man who only cares about his research and would let his own grandson suffer the blight so he may learn more of its curse. Theros' words sound harsh, but his tone and demeanor remain calm. His mother's eyes widen. For years I hated you. The one I trusted most. Took me from my family. Left me with a complete stranger and disappeared, never to be seen again. He turns his head away, not out of disdain, but to hide the tears forming in his eyes. You know, that's why I left. That's why I don't use my given name, Devon. Because it's the name you gave me. He faces his mother again. Every time it was spoken, I'd hear your voice, and know that I may never see you again.
Isla visibly transitions from emotions of shock, sadness, regret, and most notably confusion, as though something Theros said didn't make sense. Devon, I'm sorry, I won't defend my actions. I thought they were best at the time. Clearly I was mistaken, but I don't understand what you are saying about your grandfather. Even when I left you with him, I only knew him as a gentle soul. A bit overprotective and inquisitive at times, but letting you suffer the blight, I don't... And even as these words leave her mouth, Theros sees a flash of disturbed realization in his mother's eyes. The blight? No, surely he'd not be so foolish. She tries to leap to her feet, but her wounds and her husband keep her in place. Devon, if what you say is true, I'm coming with you. Your grandfather is about to... No. By now he's already gotten himself in over his head. The entire community there is in danger if his research persists.
Theros is taken aback by his mother's reaction. I certainly would never wish for anyone to endure the same treatment I did, but I don't understand what overwhelming danger it poses to the compound. He studies his mother, recognizing the sincerity in her expression and words. But if you believe there is a greater threat, then it must be addressed. However, you are in no shape to travel. I cannot be held back if I am to be reunited with Volus. I must leave now.
The Blight is a far more insidious threat than even Morthune. Trust me. If your grandfather has thoughtlessly started tampering with it, then it must have spread much farther and faster than I thought. She looks at her injuries. I will catch up to you. These wounds will not hold me back forever. Jin, who had been quiet, starts frantically looking back and forth. Now, hold on a moment. You can't both just leave like this. We only just reunited after all these years. It's good that you've come to some semblance of terms with each other, but must you leave so soon? He grabs hold of Theros and Isla's hands, grasping firmly as if not willing to let them go. A hint of tears in his eyes at the worry of losing them again. At the very least, can't I come too this time? Silence falls on the three. Isla seems to consider Jin's request, struggling with her decision.
I do not know if you would be allowed in there where we are going, Theros replies. Truly, if they had their way, you would not even be privy to the existence of Crystalhurst. He looks to his parents. I would not see us separated again either. But let me go ahead and speak to Grandfather first of my matter with Volus. Once we confront him concerning the blight and expose Crystalhurst to you, Father, he will likely be less inclined to help. Mother, it would be good for Father to accompany you anyway, given your condition. Theros begins gathering a few items he had left at the caves. I care not about bringing outsiders into Crystalhurst. If they wish to ban me for it, so be it.
There will be hell to pay. Archdruid Zora will see to that. Isla grins. But I have seen hell more than once on the battlefield. She doesn't scare me.
On that we can definitely agree. Theros shoulders his pack and nods to his parents. I will meet you there.
Jin sighs with a hint of relief, still a bit of worry on his face. I will make sure your mother recovers quickly. We'll be right behind you, Theros. Just don't do anything rash. Isla looks to her son one last time. A night or two of rest will suffice. Theros, be safe.
As Theros makes his way towards the cave entrance, Ulret scampers up to meet him. Ha, Mr. Theros, was it? I know we haven't really had the pleasure of meeting, but I would very much love to join you and your companions in your adventures. I assure you, I am a very capable warrior and orator, if I do say so myself. I'm sorry, but I will not be accompanying you all any longer. There are other matters I must attend to. Oh, I see. Well, then, where are your friends? Perhaps I could accompany them. They're ambushing a hobgoblin camp northwest of here, about 10 miles from here. Oh, my, I hope they haven't started yet. I'm fancying a good fight. It was a pleasure to meet you, sir. I'm going to go help them.
As the Shrieker Mushroom once again starts yelling out because someone let the light in. And now, we will jump to Nayari, who makes it to the cave.
I was waiting on the timing of that one.
Indeed. It seems that that was the last interaction that Theros had with the camp. And by now it would have been like a full day later, Nayari arrives at the camp. And I'll just move you guys to that map at this point. There we go.
Okay. So Nayari will enter the caves, and she's just, seeing people about and about doing their daily business and whatnot. It's probably what you said, late afternoon, early evening.
For you, it's like the early morning. Get here noon, something like that.
Okay. So she'll walk around for a while. She'll walk into different cave rooms, I guess. And she'll look around, and then she'll end up leaving. And eventually she comes to the cave where I'm assuming Jin is, he's still here, right?
Yeah, if you walk into the sickbay, it looks like he is still present.
Jin, if I might bother you for a moment, where's Theros?
He kind of looks up to you.
He left us, and he was coming back here, but I can't find him anywhere.
He looks to you and he doesn't know all the details of why Theros left. Well, he knows that Volus died, but I guess there'd be a hint of confusion on his face as to why you be privy to this information or why you're asking him. And he just kind of says to you, he came by yesterday. He's already left. He mentioned having to meet with his grandfather. Something about Volus had fallen, and I know he cares dearly for that bear. He mentioned something about maybe his grandfather being able to reunite him with the spirit. I'm not a druid or anything. I don't know the details, but he left shortly after coming back. He's been gone for the better part of a day at this point.
No, he said he was leaving, but he was just coming back here. And she kind of, like, her knees go weak and she kind of collapses to the ground and just kind of looks at the ground and says, I've made a terrible mistake. I said some things that were awful. And I wanted to apologize to him for it. But I didn't think he was actually leaving.
As you fall, like, collapse to the ground a bit, he kind of jumps up from the makeshift stool that he had made, and he kind of like puts his hand on your shoulder, like not sure what's going on, and he says, I am sorry, I don't know the details of what might have happened between the two of you, but I like to think that Theros is a level-headed man at this point. I'm sure whatever you said, I'm sure he understands. I can't imagine that he would hold a grudge against you after all the things that you've been through. Again, I don't know the details, but I should hope that it's not like you'll never see him again.
Where is he going? Where's his grandfather?
Jin would be about to speak up, but Isla would actually be there, and she would say, he's left to go to a hidden community of druids in the Fangwood, north of here. It is a place that only he and I know the route to at this point. They are not terribly keen on outsiders. It's a very inclusive group. If you are hoping to find him, you'll have to wait until he comes back.
You don't understand. You just let him go on his own?
I did.
He's never going to make it. He's not well armored. He doesn't have Wallace anymore. There's no way he'll make it there.
Be that as it may, I was not going to be able to stop him. And he's an adult now, he can handle himself.
I don't know if you had seen what we've been up against. 4 of us were barely able to. 5, including Volus, were barely able to survive this. 1 person alone in the Fangwood. That's suicide. Is that what his goal was? Is he on some suicide mission?
She leans back and closes her good eye and sighs. I will admit the Fangwood is dangerous, but he has lived in the Fangwood for many years now. If he does not want to be found, he will not be found. He can move through the forest just as easily as any of you might be able to move through the towns that you normally.
And you say there's no chance of catching up to him?
I should think not. Unless you are as keenly in tune with nature as he.
No. You've done a terrible thing and said some terrible words. And while Theros may be level-headed, I'm not. I don't know what I'm becoming, but I don't like it. She'll stop mid-sentence and Thank you. I don't mean to burden you with this. I appreciate the information that you've given me. And I will hope with you that he makes it there okay. And that maybe we will see him again.
She nods and then rests her head back. You could see that she's still in a bit of pain.
Yeah, Mary will leave. And at that point, she kind of just wants to be alone. So she's going to start heading down to the where the forge is, down below, deeper into the caves. Just try to find somewhere quiet and dark and think.
Okay. As you're going through that room with all of the rainbow mist and the well, Ilika's actually in there, and she would stop you as you go by, and she would say, "It is a beautiful room." She kind of points at some of the designs in the walls. If you look long enough, it almost looks like stars.
Aw.
It's been a long time since we've seen stars. Do you remember out on the plains at night? There would be so many of them. I remember when we were younger, we would try to count them. But there were too many. Even on cloudy nights, there were too many.
I do remember. I remember. And then she kind of hesitates a bit. And then she kind of steels herself. She says, I remember Severin would always joke that he could count them all.
He was stupider than either of us. I couldn't trust a word that man said.
True enough.
Do you think we'll ever get back there? Maybe not all the way north. But do you think we'll ever get back to a point where we can just lay in a field and count the stars?
I don't see anything stopping us.
I can think of a few things that are stopping us. And they're all big and ugly and start with an H.
True, but we made it down here. I'm sure we could make it back. I mean, sure, a group this large would be impossible to not be seen, but just the two of us, I'm sure we could sneak by.
Well, where would we go?
Anywhere. We could go home. We could go some other land. One with stars we've never seen before. We could go south, further south, to the other end of the earth.
I have heard stories of places that are hot all the time. And I have to confess, my mother used to tell me about sand. She said sand is like the stars, only on the ground. You can try to count them, and you never can because there's just too much. I don't know, Ilika. I don't know what's happening to me right now. I'm not the person that I was before. I feel like a darkness is taking over my heart. And just when I think I'm getting better, something happens, and I lose my temper again, and I say things that hurt the people I care about.
She kind of like puts her hands on your shoulders. Nairi, I don't know if you realize it, but you've kind of always been like that. And sure, at times it could be a bit hard to handle, but I like to think that it's just because you're perhaps a bit more passionate than any of us were. You care more deeply. And at times, perhaps that has its downsides, but it has many advantages too. You were always one of the most fun to be with back home.
Until Severin would come around and knock me down a few pegs. I'm gonna need you to do that for me, Ilika. You may not be able to physically knock me down like he would, but I need you to hold me accountable for the things that I do and say.
If that's what you need, like you said, I'm nowhere near as strong as Severin was, but if you need a good slap in the face, I can do that when I need to.
Well, I'll give you permission to do that. And maybe we can talk about where to go from here. But for now, I want a long nap and some time to think.
She nods and kind of lets go of you and lets you pass by. You leave this room and you go to the lower levels, and so you would hear the sound of kining smithing away in the forge, making who knows what armor, weapons, something in there. Maybe
I'm
just
sorry, somebody's in the forge?
yeah, kining's in the forge.
Oh, Oren's gonna be so displeased.
So
I like
you
that. Oren's going to be so displeased.
Nairi will
thing.
kind of pop her head in real quick and be like, Kining, I know that you called dibs on the forge, but just warning you that when Oren gets back, he'll probably be quite cross. He had his heart set on this being his sanctum.
It's kind of like his thing, you know? I want to step on toes.
She just kind of scowls at you, and she says, well, as far as I'm concerned, nobody owns any of this cave. So if he wants his own personal room, he can take it up with the group. But as far as I'm concerned, he's not a better smith than me, so we'll see about that.
Well, between you and me, Kining, I've seen your work. I haven't seen his, so I can vouch for you.
Of course you can. And she keeps hammering it.
80s smithing montage. We're gonna have a smith off where we try and make something.
She finishes her masterwork adamantine plate armor.
Oh yeah. You sure she didn't steal it from somebody? Isn't that like her thing?
Ooh.
Ooh. Says
So yeah,
the guy
you-
who told Nayari to get rid of the shield.
The shield of the god that enslaves his people? Yeah, no.
I mean, it's just Gar. Like,
Right, like I'm the bad guy.
You see there's just symbols of Droskar everywhere in the forge.
Just permanently carved into
Gar's really not a good dude. I'm just saying.
PvPing, pining, I guess.
She just values hard work and labor.
That's not all he's
As long
about.
as she doesn't have to pay for it.
Yeah, so Nayara, you would move to one of the other rooms, and you'd maybe start going down to the southern, trying to get to a quiet place. You'd actually notice Li Fang is actually down there. It looks like he's doing some sort of like martial arts training, I guess. Like he doesn't have any weapons, but he's like punching at the air and whatnot. He probably doesn't have a full understanding of what he's doing, but it's like he's trying to like train his body a bit, doing
That's cool.
push-ups, jumping
Uncle
jacks.
Iroh in prison?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
in prison.
He's got a big stone that he's lifting with his hands, stuff like that.
Again,
Um,
80s
He's got
training
that
montage.
He's got that crystal lizard just on one arm, just like going up and down.
Yeah. So you maybe move into that room where you fought. Maybe close the stone doors behind, cancel out some of the noise. It'd be quiet in there.
Hmm. She'll go into the creepy room that wasn't there
Oh.
a statue of the
Yeah.
creepy
So
thing?
if you open those blue steel doors again, Veld is actually
Oh.
she's kind of used that as her own private sanctuary because you guys promised her a room to herself. So she took the furthest possible room from any other room. So she's just kind of setting up there. Like,
I see your back.
Yeah.
I
I'm
was kind
sorry.
of in the middle of something here.
I will go. I didn't realize this room was occupied. For such a large cave, most of the rooms have people in them.
Well, I mean, there are more people here than there are rooms, so...
Well, it's probably a fair point. I hadn't really stopped to count, but I won't disturb you. I apologize.
Yeah, close the door on your way out. You're letting all the smoke out.
She closes the door. It just seeps through a crack.
Wait, is it hot back there? Is she just getting high?
Do you even vape, Nairi?
No, she's just getting her smoke on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then Nairi will.
Yeah, she's quiet enough that you don't hear her through the door. So
Okay, yeah. So she'll just go back to that room where we fought the Den Mother and just kind of sit down and probably fall asleep because it's been a rough couple of days.
yeah. And skipping ahead to the next morning is when, sometime in the early, maybe mid-afternoon, the other three return to the camp.
Ulret's gonna just be singing the song he wrote about their fight at the camp while they're walking in.
Aiden will go talk to Auburn when he gets a chance.
Okay. You guys pull back the vines. That shrieker mushroom goes off again. And you hear people inside. They're basically saying,
My goodness, that's like the 4th time in 2 days. Can't people just leave it alone?
and just a lot of mumbling and whatnot, because there's been a lot of activity recently. So you get in there, and you would find Auburn. She's in that kind of central location by one of the fire pits there. There's more people on this map, but I didn't want to just like litter it with tokens. So there's little people around. She's probably talking to some of them, but you could walk up and get her attention.
Yeah, and he pulls her away.
Yep.
Auburn, how are you?
I'm good. It's good to see you again, Aiden.
It has been
How did...
some time.
Indeed, it's been a couple of days. How did things go? Nairi came back early. I didn't know the other three of you what you were off to. She didn't say much.
We went to track down the rest of the goblins that we thought might have gotten away. Did you hear about the camp that was there?
I know about the camp that you had been to, but I don't know all the details. Like I said, Nairi wasn't. She wanted some time to herself when she came back, and Theros only stayed for a short time before he left. I don't. He was probably gone before anybody even thought to tell me about it.
We did it, Auburn. We killed them. All of them.
She kind of widens her eyes slightly. She just, "It's done then."
Yes, but it's not all good news that I have. I'm sure you heard about Theros then.
I did. They told me that he came by and he's leaving. His father said something about meeting his grandfather, but I didn't press the details.
I want you to know, Auburn, we did everything that we could. But we found the remains of so many. They were torturing some people there. And I found these. He undoes some of the rangers' cloaks that he had found, the bundles and whatever else.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you knew any of them.
There's like an almost inaudible kind of like a gasp or an inhale when you reveal all those. And she says, I only spent a short time with them before I had to bow out because of my injuries, but I did count every single one of them as a brother or a sister, even the ones I hadn't met. It's a bit painful to see this. A ranger's cloak was a symbol of pride.
He nods.
I have to be honest. It leaves me worried, Oberyn. I want to be happy about the true victory that we had. But when I see this, I know the fight is long from done, and I don't know what I can do next.
Well, I agree with you. The fight's not nearly done yet. Not by a long shot. I think with that camp gone, we might have bought ourselves some time, but that's about it. We'll have to think about it, but at this point, I think our next step is just getting allies.
I will think about who I can ask, but I am very tired.
And he's gonna take his leave.
Do you
and,
mention that letter?
Yeah, he brings it up.
Okay.
He just
If you
says that-
mention all foxes to their holes, she would kind of narrow her eyes and she'd get a little serious and be like, That's a grim message indeed. That was one I never encountered it while I was with them. It was a high priority emergency message that we all knew because we all had to know what it meant, but luckily we never ran into such a drastic situation that we had to use it. But that's essentially a command for all the rangers in the area to return to the strongholds, to one of our forts deeper in the Fangwood. It's like I said, it's a drastic last resort message.
He sighs.
I thought this might be the case. But where does that leave us? Do we retreat further into the forest? I don't know if we can do that.
I doubt we'd find a place as suitable as this further in the forest. At least not right away. It'd be a risk to try to leave here and find a new one, but I'll admit I don't know where all of the ranger forts are. They're, like you know, I've told you they're a very, very secretive group.
He nods.
I did train at one of them. I trained at Fort Nunder, but that's the only one that I'm aware of, and it's a ways out to the west, a bit north, mostly to the west.
Oberyn, if you're saying that we need allies, do you think that the Rangers would help us?
Oh, I'm sure they would. If we could get in contact with them and let them know what's happening, assuming they don't know about it already, they would definitely help against this sort of threat. This is what they are. Their whole organization's about. If we could just let them know. I'm sure they know already. Wouldn't be surprised if the presence of these hobgoblins is why they sent out that letter. They're preparing, holding up, shoring up their defenses, getting ready to counterattack. I wouldn't be surprised.
I'm sure they know, but if there is a counterattack, I want to be there. And for us to have a chance here as survivors of Phaendar, we have to know what they're planning.
Indeed. It's a bit too dangerous for us all go out there try to find the fort on our own, but I mean, maybe we could try to clear a path there, see if we can find any dangers along the way. Once a path to Fort Nunder's cleared, maybe we could get everybody here and start moving in that direction. I don't know. It's hard to say, but that could be our next
I'm
step.
worried, Oberyn. If they really did call this emergency, you called it, where they've called everyone back, will anyone be there?
I don't know. Like I said, I only know about Fort Nunder. I don't know about the other forts. It's not their main fort. It's possible that they're all going to the same
place, and maybe no one's at Fortnum, or maybe they abandoned that one and stayed at one of the more defensible places. But I don't know where the other places are. I only know the one.
All right. I think I understand what I have to do. And I will not take everyone, but I will see who will go with me. There is strength among us. Maybe we can pave a way.
She nods.
He takes his leave and just leaves like a thank you, Auburn, for everything.
So Ulret's going in, singing his song.
Yeah.
Are there any other?
Ulret's gonna like basically be kind of making his rounds around to everybody. He's gotten out a bottle of fine wine he had in his haversack, and is pouring a little bit for everybody that he can find, and trying to get like people to dance with him as he's singing,
Okay.
and just in general trying to raise the moods of everybody around him.
Yeah. Roll a perform and a diplomacy check, and give yourself a +2 bonus on the diplomacy because of the.
Aiden, as soon
There's
as he
perform?
sees what's going on, is gonna kind of dip outside of the camp and just chill in one of the trees where the camouflage tents are. And
So
just
it's a
kinda stand
13
looking
on
out.
diplomacy.
Okay. So you do a 20 performance, pretty good. You're doing a solid performance there, and with your
Naturally.
bonus from the wine and whatnot, a 13 diplomacy. So it takes a while. It's not like everybody immediately starts, performing and dancing and whatnot with you, but because it is a pretty grim mood still. But if enough time passes, some of the younger of the group start to give in a
The
little
two
bit.
kids.
And yeah, the kids
Just like
are very
same
quick.
height as him and his dancing.
Yeah.
Like they're
Yeah.
all like just doing an
The-
Irish jig together.
I think there are six children in the camp that are like 10 or less in age, and they're the first to start like jumping around and dancing.
With the
And-
wine.
Not with the wine.
I'm just kidding. I was
but-
just the picture in my head.
and- although honestly, in this kind of area, I wouldn't be surprised if they drink young. But they start kind of dancing with you first, and then some of the older people eventually start to give in, and you do increase the mood pretty significantly. And yeah, Aiden seems to have stepped out a little bit. So at this point, I'm basically just going to ask, does anybody have any final scenes? Because there's going to be a bit of a time skip here. Probably about a week's worth of time as you guys take the time to consolidate this cave, right? There's a couple of things that still need to be done for this cave to really be suitable, and it would take about a week of work to get that done. But I didn't know if there was any final scenes anybody wanted to do before that time.
I'm gonna have Ulret's
Clearly-
song if you want me to sing it.
Well, yes, of course. And then also Orin and Kining.
Yeah.
Hello. I think that's an interaction that has to happen, actually. So no book 2 until that happens.
Do that scene first because it'll be a bit of a mood swing from the song, probably.
Sure. Oren, is that one of the first places you go? Is to the
Yeah, down to the
Okay.
floor. Yeah.
Yeah, so you get down there and Kining is working away. Looks like she is making some sort of weapon.
So he'll walk in and basically just kind of scoff towards her and say, "You're actually making that yourself, or did you steal someone else's work? Is there someone else in here that's actually doing the work?"
She scoffs back at you, and then she says,
unlike your kind, I actually value hard work. So yes, I'm making this myself.
Oh, you mean other people's hard work because you believe in slavery, right?
Hard work is hard work, as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, as long as you don't have to pay for the labor, though, right?
Fair wages are due to those who do what needs to be done, but...
Listen, why don't you just get the hell out and go pray to Droskar? Okay, I have no time for your nonsense.
Well, then perhaps you should leave because I was here first to wait your turn.
We can certainly fight about it if you like. I have
Why
no
don't we?
problem killing a follower of Droskar.
Why don't we? Why don't we see what the rest of them all think when you're murdering their own member? They're
Let's go.
already a bit dubious about you already. You really want to put your trust on the line, don't you?
Absolutely.
Yeah, she's not gonna leave.
I'm not leaving.
Wait, do you stand there in stubbornness, or does this escalate to
So-
a fight?
I'm gonna
You-
escalate it to a
You
fight.
attack her?
If she refuses to leave, yeah.
Oh, I love
Yeah.
you.
If she refuses to leave, Orin is going to pull out his weapons and fight her.
Okay.
This was
Roll initiative.
unexpected. It's a duel,
Oh my gosh.
and Aiden's not there. He's probably talking to
Nobody's
Aubrey
there.
At this point. Yeah. Beautiful. He's got that stat
Okay.
block ready to go.
So,
Okay, I wasn't prepared for this, so
Neither was
What
I.
else did they have to interact? I didn't realize he was gonna kill her. This is amazing.
Well, I didn't say I was gonna kill her.
Yeah, you can always choose non-lethal damage, but she might
Yeah.
not. She might
Never said I
kill
was
him.
gonna kill her. She might kill me. Who knows?
I mean, she does worship Droskar after all.
Yeah.
so you, yeah, you'll be going. Well, I'll roll her initiative here.
change this happy music.
Yeah,
so
thank
you will be going first.
I mean, it would have been a fun tavern brawl music, you know.
It's definitely not a surprise round.
All right, cool. Battle of the Dwarves.
So it's gonna be a theater of the mind thing here.
So this is gonna be my. I go first.
Yep, you're
So,
going
you
first.
Go first. You go first.
Okay. So I just clicked the wrong button. Hang on. It's gonna kick me out of Roll20. I clicked one of my banner bookmarks.
Nice.
I tried to click up my little thing at the top and I clicked the banner bookmark.
It sounds to me like he forfeits.
Yeah, right? Because I left Roll20, Orin is immediately dropped to 0 hit points.
The meta gods strike again.
So he's gonna start. You know what? He's gonna start by just saying, "It doesn't have to come to this, but I'm not gonna let you desecrate this place."
Okay.
And then
So are
he's done.
you?
He's gonna.
Okay.
He's not gonna swing first, but he's made his intent clear.
He wants to be on the right side of history, even though he.
I'm giving her one
Right.
last chance. Like
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
She smashes his face in with a hammer.
on the first hit, she smacks him. Hey, Orin might get asked to leave after this, which is fine. I mean, it is what it is.
He honestly
So-
right.
Yeah.
She will turn to you with a very dark look on her face. She still has the hammer that she is working tools with, and in her other hand, it looks like she has some sort of unfinished short sword that's still kind of red hot from the forge. And she turns to you with those in hand and she says, "Look here, dwarf. I don't know what laws you adhere to, what laws your deity adheres to, but you don't own this cave. And I'm not leaving."
You didn't fight for this cave. We did, and your presence as a worshiper of Droskar offends me.
Well, then you're just gonna have to deal with being offended, rather than acting like a child.
This isn't acting like a child. You believe in slavery.
And I don't recall that being illegal in these parts.
It is anywhere that I am.
Okay.
So she's not backing down?
She's not backing down. She's not making her way towards you, but you do not see her moving.
Alright, well, no, I'm gonna move towards her to try and I guess grapple.
Okay. Roll a combat maneuver bonus check. No. Okay. So you go to grapple her and takes the just swats your hand out. And that will be your turn.
Yep.
On her turn, yeah, she's gonna try to hit you. You just tried to grab her, so
Yep.
she's taking that as an act of hostility.
Sure. I get it.
Oh, that is a natural 17 on the die.
Who wouldn't take that as an act of hostility? Sounds like kiting. Yikes. It just must be preempted.
So let me look up her. So that is only an 18 to hit.
No.
Okay.
She only has a
So-
+1?
She's not a very high level.
Yeah, she's not a warrior. She's just an expert level 2.
Yeah.
Oh, you're just gonna murder a commoner?
I'm not gonna murder her!
And
Kill
next
her?
round.
What?
1 second here.
Immediately challenges now.
So, top of the round, you do hear footsteps coming from deeper in the caves. Nobody's coming yet, but you hear footsteps.
Okay.
It's your turn again. Okay. So that will successfully grapple her. So she is grappled.
So what he's trying to do is force her out of the forge. That's all.
Okay. On her turn, she will try to break the grapple. That is a natural 9. I don't think that's going to work against your CMD. So she does not break the grapple. Next round, at the top of the round, you hear footsteps right behind you as Li Fang, who again has been
good
spending his
lord.
days down there training, heard some raised voices and came over, and he says, "What is going on here?" And he sees you guys, and he sees you in particular,
Oh,
Orin, who
no.
he already had some beef with, and you're now grappling Kining. And he says, "Dwarf, you let her go right now."
Boy, don't you bark orders at me. And then he will continue what he's doing.
Okay.
He's pushing her out of the forge.
So Li Feng's just going to shout out to the upper cave and be like, let's see, which person would he shout out to here? He'd say, "Lerosa, Tydale, get down here. We've got a bit of an issue." And that'll be his turn. I'll say that his turn was moving up there and then speaking. So it's now back to you. You're still grappling Kining. You can maintain the grapple, and then if you succeed, you can start to move her.
Okay. So do I just do another...
Yep, another CMB,
CMB,
but since C did not break the grapple, you get a +5 circumstance.
Do I hear this at all?
How do I roll 2 8s? Absurd.
You are in
Oh,
that.
she's downstairs, yeah.
Yeah, roll a perception.
Oh dear. Oh dear. I'm gonna say no.
That's
You do not
That's
yet
an 8.
hear anything.
You are
another 8.
You're still taking your nap.
Looking at her CMD. No, I don't think an 8's gonna do it.
Doubtful.
But with a +5, that would get you a 13.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think a 13 is gonna do it because she's got a +1 BAB.
Mm-hmm.
She's got +2 strength, +1 dex. That puts it at 14. So no, that's a fail. So you're not able to maintain the grapple. She kind of like pushes you back a bit. And then that is her turn. She's just gonna try to hit you again.
Okay.
Natural 3, she misses. Top of the round, it is Li Feng's turn. Again, he shouts out, and then he's gonna try to grapple you. He's a bit stronger. Natural 19.
Oh,
Oh.
So you are now grappled by Li Feng. and it is your turn. You can try to reverse the grapple or break the grapple. You can also try to attack him while grappled if you have a light or one-handed weapon in hand.
Just my warhammer. So what do you do to break the grapple? A strength check?
It would be another. It would basically you'd make a grapple attempt against him,
Okay.
and if you succeed, you can reverse the grapple, or you could break it, whichever one you prefer. Okay. He is not heavily armored or anything, so 17 I think is going to suffice. So the grapple or just break it. Okay, so you break free of his grapple there. Kining. Yep, it is up to Kining. Kining is going to.
Yeah,
Trying to think what she would do.
stab him with the molten hot.
No, she would. She would try to bonk you on the back of the head with the hammer, though.
Okay.
Natural 9, so she misses again. She's not a fighter. This is not her
Right.
forte.
Sure.
Top of the round, Nyari, roll another perception. You guys hear some commotion in the upper caverns. Sounds like maybe Illica heard Li Fang, and so she shouted out to Aubryn, and so Aubryn shouted out. So there's like a game of telephone going on as the word's getting around. Wow, Nyari, another natural 2. So
Yeah.
you're still not hearing it. So it sounds like everybody maybe at the top is starting to move in that direction. It is Li Fang's turn first. He is, instead of going to grapple you again, he's going to be like, Dwarf, for the last time, stand down. You don't need to make a fuss here. Does Zorn respond at all?
No.
Okay. He's just going to ready an action then. Your turn.
He's gonna keep doing what he was doing, trying to grapple and push Kining out of the forge.
Okay. As you go to make a move towards her, that will trigger his readied action to try to grapple you. Natural 5, so that's not going to do it. So you kind of slip out from his grasp. You can make your check against Kining. Okay, 15. Yep. You will grapple her. She is not as strong as him, so she is a bit easier to grapple. Her turn. She'll try to break it, but again, Natural 1. She does not break the grapple. Top of the round, Nyari, you can make another check. More movement at the top as people start moving down.
Okay, only a natural 6 this time.
That'll work.
I'm waking up slowly.
Yeah, with a 12. Did you open the doors at all, or are they still closed?
Did I open the door?
Yeah. Do you think the doors to that place are open, or not?
Well,
This would be This would be like early afternoon.
the next day.
Yes. So you maybe slept and maybe woke up. I don't know if you stayed in there for a bit to, keep your quiet for a little bit longer, or if you opened the doors to. Or I
I
don't know what happened.
probably opened the doors. I don't know if I would have shut myself up in there, but
Okay, then if the doors are open with a 12, then you start to hear some commotion over in that direction.
okay. I will start heading that way, but not super urgent because I don't think there's any reason to hurry.
So you start heading in that direction. It is
Between two
Li Fang's
little
turn.
people. It's been two little people.
He does not manage to grapple you. So Orin, it is your turn. So roll to maintain the grapple. If you succeed, you can start moving her away.
Yep.
Okay. So that plus 5 gets you to a 14. So a 14 is what you needed.
Oh,
So you maintain the grapple. So you can start to move her half your movement, so 15 feet away, which probably puts you at the doorway. So you're just about to pull her out. And now it is her turn. She'll try to break the grapple again. Natural 9. That is not going to succeed. Top of the round. At this point, Nyari, you would have moved to be within sight of this occurrence. They're now at the doorway. So if you remember that map, you're at the other doorway at this point.
Okay.
That would be your movement. You're ending at that point, but you can see them, and you could say something if you'd like.
What's going on? There's a lot of noise. What's going on?
Okay. Li Fang will respond. He'll say,
Your dwarf friend's attacking some innocent members of this community.
and he will then, once again, try to grapple. That is only going to be a 16 against your CMD. I don't think that's going to do it.
I think it will. I think
Oh,
mine
it
was
will?
15. Yeah.
Really?
Unless I have any bonuses against it, which I don't think I do. Let me make sure. Nope. Not unless he was trying to trip me.
So a 16 does succeed then? Or
Yes.
does not succeed? Okay. So he is now grappling you, but you're still grappling kind of.
I was gonna say.
I'm not gonna bother with the rules. I'm just gonna say that you're all grappling each other at this point. So it
Looks
is
like
your
we got
turn.
ourselves a
Hugging period that we got ourselves in here.
standoff.
It is your turn. Go ahead and try to break the grapple that he has on you first, and then I'll have you roll a grapple at her to move her again.
Okay, so that's to break.
Okay, so that will succeed against his CMD.
Okay.
So now roll another one with a +5 bonus against kiting. Okay, so you succeed on that one. You move her another 15 feet. You've now moved her out of the forge.
I let her go.
Okay, free action, drop the grapple.
Yep.
Um,
And then I'll turn to Nyari and just say, I can't tolerate her presence in that forge. She's a follower of Droskar, and I won't stand for it. I don't mind her being in the caves, but I don't want her in that area.
Oren, are you out of your bloody mind?
No.
She's a blacksmith. She worked in Phaendar helping the people. She's here helping these people. You're
She is
the
a
one that's-
follower of Droskar. I will
don't
not
care
stand for
if
it.
she follows
You don't
Asmodeus.
care? You
I
don't care.
I don't care. It
I
means
do
nothing
care.
to me.
Well, you're
She's
not a
done-
cleric. You're not a dwarf. This doesn't concern you.
Oren,
Mm.
you need to stop.
Or what?
Do you want to find out what?
Absolutely.
I have worked with her for years, and she never did
I
anything
don't care.
suspicious.
You see how that works? You can't just say you don't care. Try and understand my reasoning. Just
I can't.
try.
You're being unreasonable right now.
I'm not! You are literally talking about a hated deity of my people who enslaves my people. And you want me to tolerate her in what is essentially what I would consider a holy place.
Yeah, has she enslaved you? Has she enslaved anyone you know? You
She
can't
worships
fault
a
her.
god who does.
Yeah, how much does she worship that god? Have you seen her praying to Droskar? Have
I
you
gave her
seen-
the opportunity. I gave her the opportunity. I tried to discuss it with her.
I'm not so sure, Oren. When it comes to her, and when it comes to this bloody feud you have between gods, you're unreasonable.
You're
This is
unreasonable.
this
You
is
forced
exactly
us to
why
go to
I-
a mound for Illica, and I didn't question it.
I didn't
And
force
yet,
you to
when
do
I
anything.
have a divine reason why I don't think she should be in this area, dare to question me.
This is absurd, Oren. This is absolutely absurd. I never asked you to go to the shrine. I was going to do it by myself, and you all came along. And I didn't fault you for that. And you almost died, and I felt bad. And I'm sorry if you regretted doing it. I didn't ask you to.
I don't
I never
regret it.
Asked
I'm
you to
saying
do
try to
anything.
understand my position. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I can't understand this. Because from my perspective, Orin, you have always been antagonistic towards her. And sure,
Yes.
she may have said some things, but she's never made a move towards you at all. So from my point of view, putting these stupid gods aside, you're the one at fault here,
Stupid
not
gods?
her.
Stupid gods.
Yes.
You mean the gods that have kept us alive? Stupid gods.
I have seen no gods
You're
that have come
ridiculous,
down
woman.
and kept me
Orin
alive.
leaves. Orin
At
leaves.
this
He's
point-
done. Yeah, he's
at-
done. He
At
doesn't want
this
to talk
point,
anymore. He's
you
done.
hear Li Fang behind Orin say, "I've had enough of this talk," and he is going to flurry of blows. Or
He's going to what?
flurry of blows, or I guess brawler's flurry, because he did take that one level. Brawler's flurry. 2 attacks, unarmed strike against Orin.
Sure.
Natural 16 for a 21,
Yes.
and his other one, natural 18 for a 23. And we'll pick it up next week.
Ah, you can't leave it there. You're a monster. You're not.
I am. I try.
this to happen. Why did we say
Like
anything,
how I
Josh?
thought this
Okay.
was going to
Why
happen.
did we say
Here's-
anything?
So here, seriously, guys, I want to explain it. So seriously, here's what's going through my mind
I understand.
as Orin. I have just had to fight for a solid week to save these people. Okay, I'm very tired. I'm exhausted. I just got back from tromping through the woods with Aiden and Ulret trying to chase down the last of the goblins. Okay, we come back to the cave. What I think Orin would consider a sacred area for his god is currently being used by someone that he is vehemently opposed against. Like, we're talking about to the point that, like, he will tolerate her existence, but not her defiling an area like that. He sees it as defiling an area, and while he's already extremely tired, it's just gonna compound things. That's kind of what's going through my mind with it, you know?
Makes sense.
And like how I'm
Absolutely.
seeing it as a character.
Absolutely.
Like,
but you've got to see Nyari's side too.
oh,
and
absolutely,
Kining,
100%,
Fang.
absolutely, 100%.
Yeah, because she's only thinking practical right now, and
Sure.
everybody's been preaching at her like, oh, we need to do things for the benefit of the group, and we need to do what we can to keep the group going. So she's saying, oh, Kining has experience in blacksmithing and can help provide us with weapons and armor, and she can
Sure.
be down there working the forge. So from her perspective, she hasn't seen the only thing that she's seen Kining even, you know, any mention of Droskar with Kining has been that shield.
Yeah.
So for
and
her,
I know
it's like,
Nyari.
But like every single time that Orin has brought it up, she hasn't refuted it.
right.
You
I
know,
think
like
what's
Yeah,
he's
she's
brought up
stubborn.
multiple times
Yeah.
that like, are you a follower of Droskar pretty much, and she has not refuted it.
I
every
think what's
time-
really
Stubborn
fun
dwarf.
about that interaction, though, is from the onlooking, it feels like Nyari got a lot of punches on Orin and gained a lot of ground in that verbal duel. But Orin brought up some good points that Nyari is somewhat blind to, apparently, this like dismissal of the gods, but really it was a tried. It was divine intervention that brought Illica back, you know. Maybe she wants to prescribe that to herself, but I love that conflict.
Nyari's also thinking, Volus is dead. Why didn't the gods come and save Volus? If the gods
Oh,
are actually on
absolutely.
our side
Sure.
helping us, why are they choosing to spare some, and why are they allowing others to die? So she's very bitter with any mention of deities at this
Oh,
point.
absolutely. And you have to
Yeah,
think
I mean,
too, from her
All of my
historical
spells
past.
come from a divine source, but
Right.
that's fine. We'd die 100 times over if not for those.
And,
but I get it.
of
I
course,
get it.
And of course, not to mention from Kining and Li Fang's point of view, Kining was ready to just quietly allow them both to be there. No interaction really, but
Right.
not bother with it. And as far as Li Fang is concerned, like he was already very upset by the fact that certain gifts were
100%.
hidden from the group.
Yeah.
And it was Auburn's idea to hide the first one.
And
Right.
if you remember
doesn't know
too,
that.
in the past fight, Orin is the one who got into it with Li Fang, actually, that big argument.
Mhm.
Everyone else was being pacifying, and Orin escalated the situation again. Not to mention, you know, that orc, that half orc, and that dwarven animosity towards each other.
Oh,
There's
that's
gotta be
right.
some-
He's a half.
Yep,
orc.
he's a half orc.
He's a halfie.
Oh.
He's a halfie.
Mm.
Oh my
We'll
goodness.
see how Orin approaches that next week. We'll see.
I wasn't expecting to go down this
I
path.
was not either.
Well, everybody, thank you for watching the stream. Everyone, thank you for
Alrighty
watching
then.
the stream.
One thing I just want to say, you mentioned casting your magic divinely.
Absolutely. Thank you
Yeah,
so
thank
much.
you.
All right,
Have a
thanks,
great
everybody.
day.
What a way to end the stream. Do be sure to check us out on Spotify, iTunes, and everywhere else you find podcasts. Thank you so much for tuning into the live stream. Y'all are the greatest. And that goes to you, fellow game